What up, everybody? What up, what up, what up? How are we freaking doing today? Whoa, good song. I don't know what my sounds are doing. There we go. What sounds doing? Check into the stream, you guys. Happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday now, December 2nd, 2025. Back with another update with you guys and the latest that's going on outside and around the country and around the world, but mostly around the country and even my own home state now. As predicted, I've got the Facebook stream coming up here. There we go. Now I see everybody. What up, Kelly? What up, Artist? What up, Ian? Hello. What up, Carissa? Hello, Bronny. I see you guys over there on the Facebook page. I see you guys over there on YouTube. Are we missing his announcement? He's got some announcement. Oh boy.
We won the popular vote by millions. We won.
Oh my God.
The
okay.
districts. I'll tell you, the district vote is the most impressive.
Oh, here we go.
750 compared to 550. That's some difference. And we just had a, we just had a tremendous.
I don't think we've missed much.
A tremendous vote of confidence. And thank you very much for that question. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, oops. Oh well. I mean, like.
Can we make a deal with Democrats on ACA subsidies?
Thank you. Expand the travel ban, Mr. President.
Okay. Well, I think we're missing an announcement. Oh well. At this point, his announcements mean nothing to me. When I hear that there's a Trump announcement, I'm like, okay, how can I get out of that? How can I get out of not listening to that? Okay, so yeah, I'm not sure what that was about because I missed it. Oops. Oopsie poopsie. Yeah, he had a meeting today, or another press conference today. Another major announcement.
Had before, wasn't it? Yeah,
oh boy, Lion Ted Cruz is in there.
Good one.
What was his announcement today about? U.S. president makes an announcement. Okay, did they have Trump makes an announcement on Trump accounts for babies. Wow. You can start your own Trump savings account for a baby. Billionaire Michael and Susan Dell pledged $6.25 billion Tuesday to provide 25 million American children under 10 an incentive to claim the new investment accounts for children. Oh boy. $1,000 Trump accounts for babies. Oh my God, bro. Instead of so this is their alternative to child tax credits. The current proposal would automatically establish an account for each child and initially deposit $1,000. You can have Trump's name attached to your baby for their entire life. My God. What a joke. The historic gift. Wait, it's a gift? A few single charitable commitments in the past 25 years exceeding 1 billion, much less multiple billions, announced on the Giving Tuesday. The Dells believe it's a largest single private commitment made to U.S. children. It's also unusual that it will operate through investment accounts set up by the U.S. Department of the Treasury that will be managed by private companies. Nice. Dubbed Trump accounts, the program has not yet launched, but isn't this the same bullshit that they get mad about Obamacare and Obama healthcare and all that? And they say this is all of it's going to Obama. Obama get kickbacks for the Obamacare, which he didn't. It's not even true at all. It's not even in the realm of truth. It's just cope bullshit made up about Obama. This is crazy though. So you got Trump RX, you can get Trump healthcare with his, you got to pay his Trump program, and then you can get a savings account. We believe that if every child can see a future worth saving for, this program will build something far greater than an account. It will build hope and opportunity for prosperity for generations to come. It's the CEO of Dell Technology. who's worth 148 billion. So you got the billionaires in there instead of the money that you pay your taxes for. All that money is going towards all that money is going to enrich these people, right? So all your tax money right now that, you know, that could go to government programs is going to these CEOs, and then out of the kindness of their heart, they get you into their own little grift scam. Nice. With Donald Trump. Fuck Dell. Good thing I don't have any Dell products. The hell out of here. If you have a Dell, throw it away. If you have a Dell computer, get that out of here. Get that out of here. Newborn baby accounts. So there you go. You can get your child attached to Donald Trump's fraud for their life and ruin their life while they're a baby. Just start them right into this capitalist hellhole right away. Fuck it, before they can even speak. Get them right in there. Remember when he tried to run for president? Oh, Dell did? No, I'm not in on the Dell lore like that. Okay, so that's what we missed. We missed Trump giving out newborn baby Trump accounts. You get your Trump savings account for your baby. And they'll give you $1,000, I guess. All right, well, that happened. There wasn't a whole lot else besides local news here in Minnesota, but it is national news because of the story that we've been covering following Border Patrol and ICE in Chicago. Didn't make it to Charlotte because of the Remove the Regime protests, which went well. It was good. I'm glad that I went to DC and was a part of that. A part of the veterans that were out there and Flair and all of the content creators that were out there. Here's a message from that. And someone that had responded to this, because we're going to get into Trump's approval rating and then get into deeper into what's all going on out here. But this is one of the MAGA responses to the No Kings protests, just posted 18 hours ago by Terrence K. Williams. And I mean, this guy has kind of become like a brand for MAGA, and he's kind of branded himself with Trump's name. It's kind of really played into this bit here that he's got going on. So he's got King Trump fried chicken, you guys. Pancake and waffle mix. And yes, this was inspired by those silly No King protesters who lose their minds. So this is the MAGA response to the No Kings. All right, guys. Here we go.
Yo, I had to do it. I had to do this, especially after seeing all those stupid No King protesters. I had to do it, especially after seeing all these stupid No King protesters melt down over Trump posting a meme of him being a king when they are the ones who called him a king. So I'm proud to announce my King Trump crispy fried chicken mix. And when I tell you this chicken is so good, it is so good, okay? And my King Trump pancake and waffle mix. The Pancake King himself is proud to announce my special edition King Trump mix. Listen, liberals.
Listen, liberals.
I really want to know what y'all No King protesters do for a living. How do y'all got all the time in the world to protest Trump being a king? Do you not know a king would not allow you to protest against him? Do you not know that a real king would not allow you to take the streets and call him all kind of names, threaten him, threaten his wife, his kids? Do you not know that a king would never allow that?
I mean, Jesus, dude. You could glaze him harder. Boy, he's got those the chicken dick flavor, dick shaped in the box. Putin threatened Europe before or after he invaded Ukraine.
Do you not know that your head would have been on a chopping block? Okay, if he was a real king. Anyways, y'all, oh, they gonna love this because at every single.
Oh, they got the keto. He's got the keto pancake Trump cakes. Get your Trump cakes. Oh my God. Pause. What in the hell?
No King's protests. I will be bringing my King Trump fried chicken mix. I will be out there frying chicken. I might want to bring security, okay? This is gonna be the first time ever some chicken made people go crazy. I would say the first time it made, I would say it'll be the first time that pancakes made people go crazy, but people went crazy over Aunt Jemima and got her canceled. You know, that's why I created Cousin T's. I probably wouldn't even have this company if they didn't cancel Aunt Jemima. I did this because they canceled her. So anyways, y'all gonna love this, okay? This is some good stuff. But listen, okay, if you don't want this, that's fine. I have gluten-free pancake mix. I have keto, protein, some good old sweet honey cornbread, some pure maple syrup. I have some really great American-made food products. Y'all are going to love it. Oh, I can, and I just know the left is gonna go crazy over this.
They're gonna go crazy.
Jesus is my king, okay? Oh, y'all, hold on. So,
Jesus is my king, but Donald Trump is too.
On the back of the box, okay? This is so fun. They're gonna melt down. On the back of the box, it say King Trump, the first of his name, the people's president, the Lord of the red hats, the builder of the walls, the destroyer of the deep state, the protector of the heartland, the ruler of liberal tears, in the unshakable.
The ruler of liberal tears is crazy. See how broken we are as a country? I mean, you can't. This is a sickness. Yeah, this is a sickness. This isn't like my opinion and I like Trump because my opinion. This is like spreading your asshole wide and just letting Trump insert himself into you while he's also like throating Bubba at the same time. So you got like Trump doing that to you while he's like, you got like a human centipede of just like Trump and fluids and body parts going on with MAGA and Bubba and all types of shit going on there and Epstein. And I don't understand this. You know what I mean? Like I remind you guys, I've supported Trump back in like 2015, 16. I voted for him. I had like one hat. I had like one. And like it was in my closet, but I didn't wear it because I thought it was cringe a little bit. Like people were starting to wear them back then. They were really starting to wear them, but like I was you know, I got one, but I don't know about all that. But these people now, 10 years later, 10 years into their delusion and their cult, and you got products coming out. Oh boy, fried chicken, pancake, and waffle mix. You said it wasn't a cult then. I mean, it was like, it was getting there. It was a cult was forming then. That's when it was happening early. It happened quick because of the entire bullshit around that election and Bernie Sanders getting screwed. You know what I mean? Like the Republican Party putting up Trump as president for sure, obviously bad, but the Democrats screwing Bernie, man. You would have had Bernie likely would have won that election. I swear to God he would. Bernie would have won because he was like Trump like took all of Bernie-isms and like all of like the things Bernie politics like sell, but he like markets that and like, but doesn't give that though. Like he like they market that politics that Bernie has a little bit. Not obviously not all the way, because then at the end of the day they'll call it socialism, but like they'll aura farm the working class and like lie to and Trump and Republicans will lie to the working class now, but like use Bernie's style of like of populism to do it. It's worse. Obviously you can't, it's not the same, but that's how people can even like, well, how you even have people that were working class even consider Trump back 10 years ago. Now, let alone, I don't know, I can't explain it now. I mean, in 2024, it was a lot of propaganda and a lot of money went into the opposition to Biden, obviously. But, you know, I mean, you got the guy can't even stay awake now. This was in the cabinet meeting.
About a third from the bottom. You told me you were not only embarrassed, but you were angry about this and that we had to do something to change this in our country. And we took a hard look at it, and you absolutely said the bureaucracy. Sleepy
Trump or what? Joe Biden didn't fall asleep in cabinet meetings. I don't think Joe Biden, I'm trying to recall other time other than just like Joe Biden being old, obviously, right? Old guy, existing. I don't recall a time where Biden was like literally like couldn't stay awake in his own cabinet meeting and just like not even listening, which is Trump all the time. Trump doesn't listen to a single word ever spoken until they hit like the talking point. And because his campaign team, no, because they're all there because they're glazers. So they got to hit his favorite beats. They got to hit his favorite lines and stuff. And then he'll like perk up and wake up and be like, oh, hell yeah. And then like fall back asleep. So, I mean,
education in Washington is keeping its thumb on preventing growth, what we should have, because it's best handled at the state level. Letting states put their programs in place, and some states are going to do it a lot better than others. But it's not going to happen from Washington, D.C. And when I hear things like, well, with no disrespect to any other country in the world that have really great programs, Germany, Sweden, Norway, I hear about this all the time. Point of fact is,
he's so sleepy. You can't even look at
this big. We can't do
brother.
It from Washington, D.C.
You know you're tired when like you're doing like when you're like you can tell when someone's forcing to keep their eyes open when they're like. He is not doing well. He is not doing well.
You see, it has to be done at the state level.
So sleepy.
As Lori brought up, Secretary of Labor brought up, we have a great working relationship. We have already signed.
I wouldn't want to listen to Linda McMahon either, to be fair, but
MOU.
I mean, I would be bored.
To handle.
I mean, listen to her. I mean, like ba 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 ma 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 ma. Sounds like what's that? And Snoopy, and the Peanuts, the teacher. Wah 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 wah. Here's the latest in the reaction to the MRI results that Tim Walz had called for, which then we'll do a little bit more Trump, but then we got to get into Minnesota, in my own home state, actually, here in the latest with the upcoming immigration raids against the Somali community that's going to happen.
I'm raising my emotional support beer to Donald J. Trump because Tampon Tim, you seen online, he said, you better release them MRI results. And President Piggy, he said, you better watch out because I'll do it. I'll do it. They're coming, Tampon Tim, just like the Epstein files and his tax returns and his transcripts, his health plan, the Doge checks, the tax relief checks, and my dad to my Little League game when I was 7. They're all coming. Call me Linus because I'm waiting on my great pumpkin. I stand by my man. It was a perfect MRI. What else do you need to know? The doctors ordered it because, sometimes they just order stuff as a goof. And they said, we never had a perfect one before. And they took one look at President Piggy's droopy lip, slurred speech, rambling rants, leaning forward, bruised hands, dragging feet with his big-ass cankles. And they said, I bet he'll lay a perfect one on us.
And he did.
And he did.
As you guys know, we got the MRI results yesterday. I'm still recovering from congestion and shit. Today's like the first day I feel really good, so just deal with that. But yesterday they came out and Caroline Leavitt said he has the best clean bill of health, no problems. He's the pinnacle of peak performance, peak male performance. Basically, she didn't say that, but like she went into all the details. It was like this healthy, perfect condition, like, and obviously we can see the opposite. We can see that he's not doing well, like health wise.
He showed him how to work the machine. He climbed right in that MRI thing. And if you don't know what that is, it's like a tube. It's like the thing at the bank, the tube. It's like a fleshlight for your body. And he climbed right in. And
a fleshlight for your body is crazy.
Person, woman, man, camera, TV. And they said, that's perfect. One more time. And he said, person, shoebox, whiskey, tango, foxtrot, 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42, all work and no play, make Jack a dope boy. They said, good job, Mr. President. One more time. And he said, roll that beautiful bean footage. Roll that beautiful bean footage. They said, one more time. He said, wide 90, 47, blue 42, 47, blue 42, said hut. They said, one more time. He said, person, woman, release the Epstein files.
Oh boy. So that was the latest from Brent. Okay, just back to Trump really quick, because we had the MRI results come out yesterday. That was the MAGA response to it. He's not really MAGA, obviously. He's a comedian, but he does it really well. He plays a MAGA character very, very well, actually, which is what makes it even funnier, because they're like that. What makes his comedy just so good is because this is literally how MAGA is actually, but he just has to like channel it. Donald Trump couldn't stay awake with Marco Rubio even right next to him. Little Marco. Oh boy.
War started. It never would have happened if you'd been president. But this war is going on, and the president is trying to end it. Not because, listen, we got a million things to focus on in the world as a country, but he's the only leader in the world that can help end it. And that's why even as we speak to you now, Steve Woodcock is in Moscow trying to find a way to end this war, to save lives of 9,000 people, Mr. President, as you know, are dying every week. More people war started. It never would have happened if you'd been president. But this war is going.
So it would have never started. Marco Rubio doing. I'm sure he's talking about Ukraine. You got Marco Rubio doing Trump's rhetoric now, which is crazy. Marco Rubio, get in there. We had these Republicans that support Ukraine, and they were like coping so hard because like they were like, oh, Marco Rubio, he'll help. He'll do it. He'll support Ukraine. He's normal. None of them are. Not a single one of them. We had to cope coming into it. I knew right away. Marco Rubio he'll make sure Ukraine is on the ticket. He'll make sure Trump will. Yeah, that election just pissed me off. I want to relive it again. Moments after Matt Gaetz asked a question at the Pentagon press briefing. We had a Pentagon briefing today too. We missed apparently. We don't have what's her name in there anymore. Now you got like Timu MAGA girl with a bunch of MAGA propagandists now.
Continue to evaluate all of those to make sure again that national security is protected. That is the secretary's utmost priority.
But given the fact that the Qatari
she just looks. Oh, there you go. Oh boy.
royal family and Qatar itself is the biggest financier along with Turkey.
And then you got the lady behind her. I recognize the lady behind her right away. That's the one that goes to New York City and like does propaganda on Canal Street.
Of course, the financier of the Muslim Brotherhood. Would that relationship and partnership be reevaluated since the designation could possibly include Qatar?
Judging by the posture and the pants here, this got to be Cam. This has to be Cam Higbee right there.
I'm not tracking any reevaluation at this time, but again, the secretary really keeps national security top of mind, and this administration does as well. So we will always make sure that American assets are protected.
Oh, she's got the corporate speak response down pat. She's got the corporate press speak lady voice down, boy.
With all actions.
Wow, Pentagon press briefing that lasted 23 minutes. Okay, we can watch this then. You guys, all your guys' favorites will be here. All your favorite MAGA losers are in this room.
In compliance with the law of armed conflict. These actions have also been approved by the best military and civilian lawyers up and down.
So this is at Kingsley or whatever? Kingsley or whatever her name is? Yeah. Oh yeah, Kingsley Wilson. There you go. MAGA Republican. So look at this, somehow looks AI generated. I don't know how you're a real person, but you look AI generated. It's crazy.
Down the chain of command. A completely fake story in the Washington Post, now discredited by the New York Times, tried to mischaracterize these successful strikes in bad faith. It was an attempt to damage the secretary and the president, and the people saw through it. The phony Washington Post story even attributed statements to the secretary that were totally fabricated. He never said them. That is the epitome of fake news. Doesn't
Loomer just run a YouTube station? I mean, I do too. I mean, I'm just being real with you. That's why I ranted yesterday. That's why I ranted and raved yesterday a little bit and went on. I'm going to. I don't care if you guys vote Democrat. I will have my criticisms of the Democratic Party, but in right-wing world, all of their people that are doing work, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like the movie Tenet. You guys seen the movie Tenet? Where you go through a machine and then everything's like backwards and you gotta like walk backwards, but like it's still, you know, it's still like there's still things happening. Like MAGA is the backwards part, but they actually get the attention and support in the backwards world. Okay. And then in our world, no, people that are actually on the ground doing the work are not getting attention. And it's like they refer to interest groups and like, and irrelevant people that you've never even fucking heard of until like the last minute, and then you're like, oh well, I guess I better do my research on this person. I don't know who this person is. How many times have like that happened on the Democratic side when you're like, oh okay, I really like this person, but I guess this is the person, right? Or you're like, damn, like I have my favorites. The fact that you have favorites and like none of them are even like getting any attention, whereas in MAGA world, in the upside down, all of their favorites get attention and they'll get uplifted and like but I'm not saying, and again, I'm not trying to say Democrats need to full send into a fascism or like full send into an extremism to get that. You don't do that. There's populism already within the Democratic Party that exists. You just got to give them the attention. You got to give them the same thing that this Republican Party is doing to their acolytes and to like their people that are on the lowest level. The Democratic Party has to do the same thing and really work with the grassroots efforts of like the progressives or whatever, or whoever's out there, or even the not. I mean, there's people that aren't even like, I guess, progressive that are out there protesting. They're doing progressive things. Well, like maybe they don't know they're progressive yet, but like they're out there protesting. They're out there getting involved, you know what I mean? Organizing, you know, really pushing the needle back towards I guess the Democrats or like people that aren't MAGA. And the Democratic Party needs to invest in that. And they need to give more attention to that. Otherwise, MAGA will just keep doing it. And then more people will go, well, fuck this. I'm going to go to MAGA because I don't even need to do shit. I can just have my opinion and like that's all I need, and like they're gonna give me a position in the Pentagon. Yeah, people are gonna laugh at me and I'm gonna get shit on and whatnot, but I'm in the Pentagon, right? And so the Democratic Party needs to have that similar mindset, but for good, obviously, for good people that are trying to do good things, not this horse shit that we're gonna see here.
As the White House confirmed yesterday, the decision to restrike the narco-terrorist vessel was made by Admiral Bradley, operating under clear and long-standing authorities to ensure the boat was destroyed and the threat to the United States was eliminated.
So after spending all weekend lying about the double tap and lying about the second strike, now they're like, it was Admiral Bradley. Admiral Bradley did it. Admiral Bradley's the one. He did it. And you had Hegseth post the same thing. They found their fall guy. And that, I mean, even comes out right away as that. Was it on this account? Oh, he has like two accounts. Hold on, this one. He has his Secretary of War account, but he posts from his personal. After he posted the Franklin meme. There you go. Let's make one thing crystal clear. Admiral Mitch Bradley. I had to put even the first name, is an American hero, a true professional, and has had my 100% support. I stand by him in the combat decisions he has made on the September 2nd mission and all others since. America is fortunate to have such men protecting us. Under the bus. Under the bus. There's a meme. There you go. It's Mitch Bradley's fault. Cartman, no! His response from Chris Murphy. I mean, when you do that, this is not like giving an attaboy after spending all weekend denying that it even happened, calling it fake news. And then when Monday comes around, this is posted at 5:57 p.m. yesterday. Monday comes around and it's like, oh, we have our fall guy. That's what this is. This is fall guy. This is, or like the guy that obviously that engaged in the military action, who was given orders. But he followed them, and they're going to blame him, and he's going to be the one that is going to jail, likely. In the future, if we actually have a Department of Justice worth a damn, I don't think we do, but like if we actually have one, somehow he'll be the one that goes down, and that's what passing the buck looks like, and passing the blame, and also, literally the reason why Mark Kelly and those other 5 Democrats between the Senate and the House put out that video a couple weeks ago now, telling soldiers and anyone in the military not to follow illegal orders because you're going to pay the price for them. You're going to pay the price. You're going to, in theory, hopefully, if we don't have the Biden Department of Justice again, that sucked. I'm going to have, like, when the pendulum swings back and when Democrats take back power, because it's going to happen, there needs to be accountability. There needs to be a serious Department of Justice that's going to actually like bring all of them accountable. Like actually, you know, like when I'm thinking back to my Republican days when I was younger, a lot of the propaganda about Democrats is like they're all criminals, they're all corrupt, they're swamp. That was Trump took that one, obviously. Like it's a swamp and they all need to go to prison. And that was what really motivated a lot of like my early Republican beliefs and like led me into MAGA in 2015, 16 was that, you know, hey, there's an establishment problem. And it's the Democrats, obviously, right? This was when I was 10 years ago. I wasn't looking into the Republican Party. I was like, in the Republican world, you really like, they really treat you as if you're a victim. You are not the establishment, and like you're the underdog. That's how your reality is like crafted for you in the Republican Party. So they really hammered that. But a lot of the things that, you know, a lot of the MAGA early day MAGA things were like, lock them up, obviously. Like the lock her up for Hillary didn't just come out of nowhere. It came from all the right-wing propaganda that has been like for like even in the 2000s, like the mid 2000s, 2010s. Like it was like let's lock up all these Democrats. Like send them to prison for what? I don't know. Liberals existing. So, and I was about that actually, as I was stupid, but I was young. Anyways, fast forward now 10 years later. That belief of like what I used to think needs to happen now for the MAGA cabinet and the administration and the Trump administration. They all need to be locked up, like all of them. So it's weird how like 10 years later, I'm like almost saying the same thing I used to say, but I feel like I'm saying it to the right people now. And like my attention, and I'm not saying the Democrats are perfect and never will, but they're not committing crimes like this at all. They're not committing high crimes and treason or trying to overthrow the government. They're not committing war crimes. I mean, if anything, they're not. I mean, we were mad because they weren't doing enough because like the Biden administration wasn't helping Ukraine or like they were allowing Israel's genocide of Gaza. You know what I mean? They were like weak shit. And now it's like you got the, you know, issues on the other. It's different now. And now they're taking actions that are like above and beyond Congress and what the American people want. And like, it's clearly illegal actions, in my opinion. Okay. Especially based on the law of war. So it's wild how all of like what I thought about the establishment and like, it's still true, but I want people that are actually like committing crimes to go to jail, not just this cult mind of like, they're all bad, send them all to jail. Like, sure, if they're all committing crimes, yeah, but I want the ones that we're seeing commit crimes now. Donald Trump should be in jail after January 6th. Anyone that was still involved in that, anybody that was involved in January 6th should be in a federal gulag that we have, should be in the big prison. Okay. And they're not, because we had a weak Department of Justice that was looking to try to like bring us together as a country. And like, that's cringe. It's not going to happen. We're not going to come together until there's accountability, until people that are doing this are in jail. We're going to continue doing MAGA or like America First or whatever it's going to become, whatever it's going to come next, as these people need to go to prison after this.
Secretary Hegseth stands behind Admiral Bradley 100%. Admiral Bradley made the right call, and unlike the previous administration, we have our warfighters back at this department. This department will defend our homeland. This is not a catchphrase, it is a commitment. And as the Secretary said, when it comes to killing narco-terrorists, we have only just begun. Lastly, I would like to announce that the War Department has created a new division for strategic marketing that will be led by Abby Lower.
Oh, wow.
Who will hold the title of Deputy Assistant to the Secretary
Strategic Marketing.
of War for Strategic Marketing.
Nice.
The division will be a new core function within public affairs and will
new propaganda arm of the Pentagon.
Complement our media and strategic engagement teams. The purpose of this new division is to create marketing campaigns that support the War Department's military recruitment effort.
Nice. Incredible. They got a marketing department, the Department of Marketing. Nice. Make sure that the message is dressed up and made real for everybody.
It's providing a halo effect to the great work the military services are already doing.
Providing a halo effect. Put the halo ring. So like after they blow up the boat, and then you can put the halo ring over them, and it's like, oh, okay. Jesus said it was okay then.
Recruit our nation's warfighters. And with that, I'd be happy to take your questions.
Nice. Golly, dude. America 2025.
Yes, Caitlin.
Thanks, Kingsley. Can you talk about the autonomy that's given to the commanders who are carrying out these operations, like Admiral Bradley, to make decisions? Like in this case, I'm assuming the first strike took out the boat. And
then why does he get to wear Representative Matt Gaetz' jacket still? So this pedophile he's a news anchor now. It's like politics have become sports, like team sports. It's the same thing in team sports. You got players, obviously, that are doing the game, or whatever game it is, and then what do? They go into the booth afterwards, and they do like the sports commentating, or even they go on the news shows afterwards, and they do like sports news. The same shit we're seeing with the politicians. They do their thing, and then they go into the media, and then they be media people. And that needs to stop. I'm fine with it in sports. It's fine in sports. That's cool. I mean, you got actually people with experience that were like playing the game, and then they get to go and tell all the fans of that game, like they have deeper insights, and then people that were fans of it can learn more. And that's cool. And you got legends that, like, for example, like Tom Brady. Tom Brady is a sports commentator now. I think he's like, okay, he's not bad actually at it. But he obviously is one of the greatest quarterback of all time. Having him call your game is actually cool. He's got some good insights. He can comment on like quarterback actions like during the game, obviously, because he's the best quarterback of all time. So not in politics though. No, thank you. No, thank you. I don't want to see pedophile Matt Gaetz who's trying to buy underage girls through Venmo, like in the Pentagon press corps. That should not be a thing. Should not exist.
Actions that followed. Can you talk about the autonomy they're given?
Absolutely. So the secretary has been very clear in every statement that we've released about these strikes that they are presidentially directed, and the chain of command functions as it should. And we make sure that commanders on the ground their positions are taken into account, and they are able to tell us and make decisions if they see things that need to be flagged. But at the end of the day, the secretary and the president are the ones directing these strikes, and any follow-on strikes like those which were directed by Admiral Bradley, the secretary 100% agrees with. Yes, Matt.
Kingsley, if Nicolas Maduro leaves Venezuela today, what role will the Department of War have?
Yuck. And then you got Joey, Marin, and Nino right behind him, too. This is sick, dude.
Maduro, Venezuela, and describe the process the administration will use to determine whether or not current members of the Venezuelan military or Venezuelan government have a role in a post-Maduro Venezuela.
Thanks for the question. So the department has a contingency plan for everything. We are a planning organization. If anything were to happen around the world, we have a response planned and ready. So we
Okay, so what is that?
And at the president's beck and call, our commander-in-chief, to do what is needed if called upon. And that will be what this department continues to focus on and continues to prepare for in regards to our ongoing operations in the Southcom region. Again, our focus is taking out narco-terrorists and rooting out that threat that is poisoning the American people. Every single boat that we strike saved 25,000 American lives. That is a crucial mission to protecting the homeland, and we're proud to be a part of it.
One boat, 25,000 lives. Nice.
Quickly, so following the departure of Saddam Hussein, there was this desire to name every Ba'athist a terrorist. Does the administration take the view that any person who served in the Venezuelan military or Venezuelan government is definitionally a narco-terrorist?
That would be a determination for the president to make, but I can tell you that every single person who we have hit thus far who is in a drug boat carrying narcotics to the United States is a narco-terrorist. Our intelligence has confirmed that, and we stand by it.
Every single person's a narco-terrorist. No due process, no investigations. We say so. You listen.
Yes, Monica.
Thanks, Kingsley. I have two questions, if I may. For your first question regarding Sarah Beckstrom, the 20-year-old West Virginia National Guardswoman who was shot and killed, was her family offered an Arlington burial, or will there be plans to do so?
I know that the White House is working that out, so they might be better to describe what the plans are for that. But this department will.
So you ordered the country to lower their flags at half staff, which, by the way, listen. I wanted to. That day Charlie Kirk was killed. And the MAGA response made me more mad than anything, right? Like, as much as I hated Charlie Kirk, seeing him be murdered is not the way to go, right? Seeing him be murdered in that fashion was not good. The MAGA response to it was even worse, actually. And like lowering their flags at half staff, turning in their fucking neighbors and community members for memes. I'll never forget that. I will never forget that period for like in September of this year. And like I had people I know personally messaging me like, hey, I had a coworker tell my boss that I posted a Charlie Kirk meme, and now I'm like being called in and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? And I had business with some people, because like I don't like, at the end of the day, like if you're like I guess I didn't care really about like doing business with people that were like more right wing. I guess like it's really I wasn't on that yet to cut them off. Like, but the people, like a couple of people I had done business with for my softball team or whatever, posted pictures of themselves lowering their flag at half staff for Charlie Kirk. I cut them off right then and there. No more business. You're not getting another fucking dime from me and my shit. You're going to lower your flag at half staff for Charlie Kirk? Go fuck yourself. I wanted to take every single American flag that was at half staff for Charlie Kirk and burn it. But obviously I'd go to jail for that because it's not my flag and it's not my property. But like that's what I was in my brain thinking of, that these fucking cultists are going to lower their flag at half staff for that white nationalist loser. Not a veteran, didn't serve, didn't do anything for our country. Set up bullshit debates on college campuses so that way he could get clicks and make reels or TikToks out of like owning uneducated college kids. But when actual organizations that are like my age and younger, like millennial, Gen Age, Gen Alpha, whatever, like younger politically connected people that know what the fuck they're talking about, that are politically opposed to Charlie Kirk, would show up to his campus events and they would turn them away. The TPUSA would turn the organizations that are like know what they're talking about, that are showing up to go and debate Charlie Kirk, they would be turned away because that would ruin the propaganda of Charlie Kirk and his bullshit college debates that he would host. Anyways, so all that to be said, MAGA lowered their flags at half staff. Trump ordered it. They had fucking JD Vance escort his body on the Air Force on the plane. They had the Cardinal Stadium sold out doing pyrotechnics and fire, and his grifting wife up there crying and faking it. Just the most disgusting thing I've seen. Like every day is something new. Every day is some new level of disgust I have for this for like the level of depravity that we're at with this administration and the president. But you have all that for bumfuck Charlie Kirk and nothing for the fallen national and the killed National Guard soldier that was killed. And even herself, I believe the reporting came in before she went out there. She told her boyfriend that this is stupid. I'm going, and the mission in DC is stupid. They're doing fucking nothing. The National Guard is walking around getting paid less than their regular job to go and pick up trash in Union Station and around the monuments. Get the fuck out of here. They're doing nothing. They can't fight crime. They have no authority for law enforcement. They can't do anything other than be a victim of gun violence. Again, and a terror attack on a soldier, which seemed like I could call it that because the guy planned it ahead. Seemed like he had a plan to kill a National Guardsman because of his connections to the CIA. So, I mean, active terrorism there. He had a message to send. But the connections to the CIA obviously are very weird about all that. Anyways, all that to be said, the treatment of this slain National Guardsman compared to Charlie Kirk and the response to it, and how it's like an after the fact thing, like, oh, hey, we'll figure it out. Hey, well, I don't know. Is the president planning on having an Arlington ceremony? I don't know. Maybe. She was just a lowly National Guardsman, some private. If it was like Charlie Kirk or some white nationalist fascist loser, hey, we'd open our asshole to them. But for this National Guardsman, we can't do anything. Sorry, our hands are tied. We're busy. I just hate these people. I hate these people with every fiber of my being.
We'll, of course, support in any way we can, and have been, in close contact with the family, and the secretary will continue to do so. So we'll keep you all updated on that.
Thank you. And my second question regarding Iran, there are reports that Iran's been planning on rebuilding its nuclear facilities. Iranian's president has said that it plans to rebuild its nuclear facilities with, quote, greater strength. Can you provide us on any sort of update on where that currently stands?
I can tell you that Operation Midnight Hammer was an absolute resounding success. Iran's nuclear capabilities were totally obliterated, and experts estimated that, it would take 2 years for them to recover. So thanks to President Trump's bold and swift action.
2 years? I thought the nuclear program was gone. What do you mean 2 years? So what do you mean? I thought total annihilation. Iran's nuclear program gone. Ultimate victory. So you're telling me that in 2 years they'll have a nuclear program again? Wow, that's kind of routine.
We were able to dismantle that threat to the American people.
Who's this lady? The brand new the Pentagon press secretary lady, Kingsley Wilson. There you go. She's the new press secretary lady.
And I think it was also a historic operation by virtue of the fact that there was a clear end state. We have seen this department get marred down in the Middle East in endless wars, in nation building. That has stopped under this president and this secretary. We now have a clear end state, a clear mission set.
Except for except for South America. Except for South America, though, and like the upcoming war that we're about to like.
Operation Midnight Hammer was a success in dismantling that. Yes, Laura.
Thanks so much for having me here today.
No, boy.
Now that the president has started the process of designating the Muslim Brotherhood as a foreign Islamic terrorist organization.
Laura Loomer.
Will the Department of War still proceed with selling F-15 fighter jets to Qatar? And how will they be able to train Qatari pilots at their air base in Idaho if Qatar is...
She genuinely looks scary. You know what I mean? Like if I like Laura Loomer, if I turned around and she was there, I'd go, I'd be like, I'd get startled a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, boy, scary person.
Included in the designation.
Thank you for the question. We take very seriously our partnerships, and we always do thorough evaluations to make sure that they protect our intelligence, our operational security, and that they serve the best interests of the American people. The U.S. military has a longstanding partnership with Qatar, and we look forward to continuing that partnership at our air base in Idaho. And I would just point out that for reference, the Mountain Home, Idaho air base is not just Qataris that train there. There are also Singapore military folks that are there.
Oh, even better. It's just a foreign military haven. It's not, guys, fake news. It's not just the Qataris, okay? That's great. Yep.
So it is a base that we do a lot of foreign military training, and we are thankful for those partnerships, and we'll continue to evaluate all of those to make sure, again, that national security is protected. That is the Secretary's utmost priority.
They're going to have the Russians there next week there to do some training. Fuck it.
But given the fact that the Qatari royal family and Qatar itself is the biggest financier, along with Turkey, of course, the financier of the Muslim Brotherhood, would that relationship and partnership be reevaluated since the designation could possibly include Qatar?
Laura Loomer be like, I'm so racist against Muslims, like I'm a destroy this whole narrative myself. Because that's why it's like, why is Laura Loomer like low key cooking a little bit? Because she hates Muslims. She's very, very racist against Muslims, so that's why. So be careful when because it's actually asking a decent question, but coming from this person, there's a reason why she's even asking the question.
I'm not tracking any reevaluation at this time, but again, the Secretary really keeps national security top of mind, and this administration does as well. So we will always make sure that American assets are protected. Yes.
Hi, David Zia, Real America's Voice. It's great to be here.
You said, relax, Merc, this airbase has been... I don't care. MAGA told me that if they're not from America and they're not Americans, then get them out. That's what MAGA said. MAGA ran on, hey, if they're not American, get them out. No, we don't like foreign military. We don't help foreign militaries. We don't do that. If they're not American militaries, I don't care. I don't want my taxpayer money going towards it. So I don't give a shit. I'm going what MAGA told me. MAGA told me they don't want foreign militaries. They don't want help to any foreign militaries. Why are we hosting them here in our country doing it? Especially Qatar. Why is that happening?
I want to know if you could confirm any additional National Guard deployments under Title 10 in additional cities, and have any governors reached out for help under Title 32 as well? And how do you determine how National Guard troops, how many are armed?
Great question. So I don't have anything to announce at this time in terms of new deployments, but I can tell you that our mission set is critical. We are keeping American cities safe all across this country, and we are going to remain committed to that. These missions aren't going to stop in Chicago, in Los Angeles, in D.C. We understand the urgent threat that is facing many of these cities, and the National
Urgent threat? What threat?
Guard is proud to step in alongside our law enforcement partners to help with that. And I can confirm that everybody in DC is now armed, and a lot of our DC National Guardsmen are now also doing joint patrols with members of the police department here in DC.
Wow.
So their safety is, of course, top of mind, and we will continue to make sure that they're able to do their jobs in keeping all of our great Americans safe across our cities. Yes, Bradley.
Oh my God, bro.
We're now 90 days into these Venezuelan drug boat strikes. A growing number of members on Capitol Hill are getting their mettle up with regard to war powers. If they do move forward with some sort of war powers effort, will the administration seek to challenge the validity of the war powers resolution, or will it comply?
I wouldn't want to get ahead of the president's decision-making process in regard to Venezuela, but I can tell you what I mentioned earlier is that the department is a planning organization. We are always ready. We have plans for every single contingency, and we are going to make sure that when it comes to narco-terrorism, we're dismantling that throughout the Western Hemisphere, and you've seen that in the success of our strikes.
One follow-up, if I may.
Throughout the Western Hemisphere? The whole hemisphere?
50% in a recent CBS YouGov poll said they support the strikes on these drug boats, but 70% said no military operations within Venezuela. Nevertheless, members of Congress are increasingly calling.
That's it. It's got to be higher than 70. What American is like, yeah, totally, bro. Fuck yeah, let's go to war again. Yep. No one. I couldn't. You probably have cultists that are fine with the strikes on the boats because you can hit a button and like a missile hits it and kills them, and like no soldiers involved, and like you can do that from a computer screen. In terms of like a full scale invasion of Venezuela, and like it got to be like in the 90s for disapproval. I'd bet it'd be close to 90% of like all Americans would be against that.
For regime change there. What's the Department of War's message to those members of Congress?
The Department of War stands behind the president 100%, and we will execute on the orders that our commander-in-chief gives us, and we're proud to do so. That will continue. And again, any decision that is going to be made about certain military actions in the Western Hemisphere region will be the president's alone. Yes.
Todd Wood from CBS. It has to be approved. Yeah, it should be. In theory, it has to be, but clearly this administration does not care about norms and laws. Clearly. Keep foreigners out of USA, but teach foreigners how to fly F-35s. Yes. The true MAGA mind.
Armed Forces Press. There's been a lot of reporting that, yes, it's about drugs.
We have a Muslim takeover of the U.S. and they're taking over, but also let's train the Qataris on how to fly an F-35 in Idaho. The MAGA mindset.
Venezuela, but also possibly about election fraud electronically. Do you have any comment on that? And also, are assets, we've heard that special operations aviation assets are exercising for direct action missions in that region. Can you confirm that at all?
On your first question, I would refer you to the State Department. I think they would probably be able to give you a better answer on that. But in terms of your second question, I can tell you that we are conducting training missions and exercises. We've got the forward aircraft carrier now that is down there in the Southcom region. And as I said, the department's a planning organization. So a big part of that planning is doing trainings and make sure that we're ready at a moment's notice to protect our interests and to protect.
Guys, I have it on 1.25 speed. They're talking a little fast because I mean, it's just terrible to listen to normal.
Protect the American people from narco-terrorism. Yes, RC.
There's normal speed.
Has there been a determination at this point from the Army Secretary on a Distinguished Service Medal
Way too slow.
Specialist Sarah Beckstrom?
I would refer you to the Army for that, and if I hear anything, I will keep you posted. That would be wonderful news. Yes, James.
Hi, James O'Keefe.
James O'Keefe, nice, the Project Veritas guy. So they're not even thinking about Sarah Beckstrom. They don't even care. Like, means to an end for this administration.
Nicholas Terza, branch chief here at the Pentagon, was caught on a video in the spring stating, quote, Trump is illegitimate. We're going to resist him, quote, everything he does. We know there are other people like this that work here. My question is, what steps is the Department of War taking to identify and address personnel who are in the self-described resistance movement?
Thank you for the question. That's why the work you all do is so important. This is a big building, and we want to make sure that we have the absolute best people working at it to protect Americans every single day. We don't
the best, like Cam Higbee and Lance Videos, the little Gen Alpha twink that was out there with his stupid glasses and Broadview. That was just looked so defeated. There he is now. Look at him now. Oof, this isn't a good ratio. Chat, when you have more comments to likes, that's bad on X. Unless it's like a call to action or something, then you'll have more responses. It is standard procedure to ensure our enemies are neutralized, especially narco-terrorists. From Lance Videos, guys. Lance Videos is our new Pentagon.
It is standard procedure to make for sure that the enemy is neutralized. It is not murder when Pete Hegseth and the Department of War double tap a narcotics ship.
He's wearing Pete Hegseth's cross too. That the cross and then the crosses in each section of it.
That is shipping drugs that kill Americans to America.
Yeah.
It is not that at all. I'm here at the Pentagon reporting.
Yeah, it's not that. Fake news. I'm at the Pentagon now. Take that, liberals. Liberals. Now we're in the Pentagon. Meanwhile, here's Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela. Doesn't seem too concerned with the situation overall. But I already posted yesterday. I reposted Pentagon cubicle that apparently everyone was in Dan Lamoth's cubicle yesterday. He's a military affairs. I think he worked for the Post, but maybe not. He's a well-known Pentagon journalist. So he had reposted all of them in random desks that they were claiming was the Washington Post desk. There's Cam and Lance videos. R.C. Maxwell, Laura Loomer. So they all got a tour of the Pentagon yesterday, and then today they got to go do their propaganda for everybody.
Lightly what every single civilian and military person in this building.
Yes, Cam is one of the Pentagon. Of course, Israel has to have their asset in there. Of course he is. So I invite any member of the former Pentagon press corps to join me live and explain the issue they have with the press corps agreement. Easy. You have to be a yes man for the government. You can't question it. You can't do independent journalism. You have to do journalism that they approve. That only happens in dictatorships. That's why they didn't sign on to it. But you idiots want our pick-me's. Please pick me. I want to be chosen. Choose me. And then you were chosen because you bent your fucking asshole over and you're going to let the government insert themselves in you. According to MSM and their supporters, real journalism equals harassing unauthorized government staff until they say, no, apparently, according to you fucking losers, real journalism is like stealing protesters' equipment, running around Portland, Oregon, pretending it's on fire and you're in a war zone while filming yourself, do all of this shit, and then hold up protester stuff and say, this is the greatest day of my life. We need to clip that whole thing. We need somebody to go in and clip Cam. We need to clip Cam and his entire actions in both Dearborn and in Portland. And we need to have like a supercut of that ready. So if you guys are bored, I need a supercut of Cam Higbee in Portland and in Dearborn and in Broadview too. You can include the Broadview shit. Anyone wants to do that? All right, well, but I need more time, obviously. What else did he post? All journalists are biased. All people are biased. I'm biased. Blah, 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 blah. You don't need a college degree to do journalism. I don't know. You're so triggered by Mercado. What? Why am I mentioned? Who is this? Oh, okay. Appreciate that, Anonymous. Like, you almost ratioed him. Almost got it. Did I really ruin Cam's like whole thing or what? Am I responsible for Cam Higbee's going into this or what? Did I turn him to the dark side for real in Broadview or what's going on? Like crazy. Anyway, so he's one of the Pentagon press corps. And the quality of journalism is just going to go down the drain. Ryan, the full document has been publicly posted since October. Please do some real journalism, Mr. Real Journalist. We need that supercut. Because I bet you like these actual Pentagon journalists haven't been watching like Cam Higbee and what he's been doing. They just see him now as like, oh, he's in the Pentagon. He's got a following, but like they need the ammo actually of like what this guy does and how his journalism is. Oh boy. Hold on. Here we go. Let me see if I can find it. There's people at ICE right now? No. Let me go find it. Where's Dearborn? Protests erupt, blah, blah, blah. Everyone is talking to what happened to us in Dearborn. Here you go. So I need someone to like make a supercut of like all of these moments. Where is he at? Oh, that's after he cried to the cop. Like, are you really going to do nothing? Yeah.
Post. He's gone. He's not even here anymore. He said he couldn't leave his post.
The cop. There you go. There you go.
So my main issue here is that you said I can go into the station later and file a report. He's in black bloc. You're never gonna find him again.
You're never gonna find him. My hat, my stick, my phone, my $50. This guy's coming to Minneapolis, by the way. This one. Apparently, he's coming to Minneapolis on January 17th. Which good luck with that because it's gonna be so cold outside. Have fun. There you go. Oh, this is the most replayed part. That's crazy.
Phone right here.
This is the best part.
No!
Come on in.
No! Disgusting fuck pepper spray. No!
Why'd they pepper spray him?
I got it. Flush his eyes with this water right here.
Come on.
Can I use this?
Yes. Flush his eyes. Bring him right there. That's okay.
Keep them close. Try not to rub them.
Cam reading his Twitter responses.
All right.
Ew.
We get him some napkins.
Ugh. All over his clothes and shit.
Cam, why'd they pepper spray you?
Cam.
Just don't rub them. Just stab. Just stab.
Open.
No. This on your eyes.
Get it together, Cam.
Is it the psycho?
Oh god. Oh gosh. They got him.
You over this by yourself?
There was one other guy over there.
All right, boys. We're in deep.
We're in deep.
Got pepper sprayed. We're in deep, guys. Listen, Christianity is the religion of peace. Islam was spread by the sword. As you can see here, they will attack us. They will.
Islam is spread by the sword.
Kaylin.
I'm right here.
Oh,
Is my live on, Kaylin?
Yeah, it is.
Is my live on? Can you see me? Can you see me? See you see me?
So we're filming right now.
All right, you guys got the jug that was water right here? Okay. We got water? Yeah, we got a bunch of water, buddy. We got a bunch of water. Listen, buddy.
Listen, we're on the other side. We're standing on the other side over there. Cam got
And then it gets it all over the fucking. Look at this idiot. Oh my god.
I went and picked it up. We got Cam over here.
Listen, I'm
water.
Listen, I'm armed, so I'm gonna go out.
No, you're fine.
Hey, don't worry about the bus. Get it sold.
Wet ground.
Good. Keep blinking.
Yep. Good.
Like outside is not that far, right? But you're getting there's snot, mucus, shit all over the fucking bus. Their fascist battle bus is just getting destroyed right now.
I taste it.
Your champ, Cam.
So, anyways, that's just an idea of Cam Higbee, and then where else you got? Right, there you go. Hold on. Dearborn City Council. Where's the November? We need. There you go.
You make all of our.
Oh boy. Then you can play this one too for him. Where did he go? He went like. Where did he go? He went right. There you go. This is our new Pentagon journalist right here, Cam Higbee.
Asked them simply why they were harassing and. Hi. Okay. Today on the streets.
Oh, hold on.
I'm a journalist. I'm not a protester. This is my badge. Okay. Today on the streets.
This is my badge. I'm not an activist.
Dearborn, I was pepper sprayed, maced by protesters because I asked them simply why they were harassing and touching another individual who had stated repeatedly that he was only on.
Remember, he's got like dried mucus and shit all over this sweater that looks like he got from Savers.
Side of the street to talk to them and have a dialogue. My phone was smashed. You can see the broken camera right there.
My phone.
They stole $50 out of my
stick, my $50
pocket, and they stole my microphone receiver.
Yeah.
I went and I told one of your officers, badge number 3668, that this had happened. He told me there was nothing that could be done about it unless I went to the station. I told him, I can't go to the station. I'm working. I'm doing my job.
But what made this better is like this was at the end of the night. And if you watch this whole stream and you watch the whole day, like he had been he had recited this exact thing for like 3 hours and like and said it over and over and over. My stick, my $50, my phone, this cop, this, and like he brought it to everyone. He went to every single person in the protest who like crying about it. Well, like Jake Lang and like the other 4 people that were there doing their Nazi shit.
I said, I'm working too. I said, yeah, and your job is to protect me and all of the people that are out here.
You're gonna break their fucking mic.
Today. Okay, so we said that I could go into the station later. I told him you're never going to catch the guy if I go into the station later. He's going to leave. He's dressed head to toe in black bloc. I filmed the whole thing, but he had a mask on his face. You'll never, ever get an opportunity to arrest that person ever again if you don't go and get him right now. He said, sir, I can't leave my post. 5 minutes later, I caught him in the parking lot on a personal phone call. Okay, repeatedly today, I watched people that are in this room get attacked by other people that are in this room. I watched your officers not respond to those attacks repeatedly. Then I saw somebody who was in this group, which I'm a journalist. I'm a journalist. What's going on, and I'm here to tell you what's going on. I saw somebody in this group get arrested. I asked the officers, habeas corpus, please articulate probable cause for arresting this person. They refused to. I asked name and badge number. They refused to give me their name and badge number as a member of the press with my badge. Clearly displayed. My badge. They would not tell me why they were arresting this person. They just did it. Okay? Yesterday, I was exploring Dearborn. I came here just to document.
Yo, I came here to what? What'd you come here to do?
Okay. Yesterday, I was exploring Dearborn. I came here just to
journalism. Journalism. That's what I came to do.
To document this from Seattle as a journalist.
Right.
Okay? I was exploring.
When you show up with the person organizing the protest in their RV van and then you leave with them, you are not a journalist. When you're with Jake Lang and the guy organizing this white nationalist Nazi thing, and like you're with them, and like you're with them, and not only that, but you're on the case against Dearborn now. If I can find that, he posts so much, dude. These people post so much, it's hard to even. Well, that's from Dearborn. There he is. Guys, I need $50. But anyways, they're suing Dearborn, and he's on the case with Jake Lang.
Exploring Dearborn, I walked up and down Michigan Avenue. There wasn't very many people out. Then we wanted to hear the call to prayer that we've heard so much about. So we went to a mosque.
You wanted to hear the.
And at that,
and they had a drone, and the drone followed us.
I was followed by a drone. If I moved forward, the drone moved forward. If I went backwards, the drone went backwards. I went to a gas station, and that drone waited outside of the gas station just above the door for me to leave so it could begin following me again. I was followed by vehicles, and I was followed by individuals on foot. There was a lot of talk in here today about sexism. So I'd like to quote the Prophet Muhammad. Okay? One of my favorite quotes from the Prophet Muhammad. A woman's testimony is worth half that of a man's due to the deficiency of her mind. God created 2 sexes, one superior and one inferior. That's why your women wear hijabs, because they're inferior to men. That's why in most Muslim countries they can't leave their homes without permission of a man.
Why is that one of your favorite passages, though? Hold on. Why is that one of your favorite passages? That's crazy.
Guardian. Is my time up?
You have 30 seconds.
You had 30 seconds. Oh, 30 seconds.
Yeah,
okay, great.
Go ahead.
But 30 seconds and more.
I shouldn't feel like a dhimmi in my country. That's what I feel like in Dearborn, Michigan. It doesn't feel like home. I feel like a dhimmi, a second-class citizen, which is what Christians are in the majority of Muslim countries. Dhimmis. Second-class citizens.
You're a dhimmi.
Policing in this city, that's exactly what happens. And I know rank-and-file officers in pretty much every city usually want to take care of these problems. You're the one giving the orders, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
These guys definitely want to do something about them. They're business. Look at them. These guys are all business. Your orders. I'm done.
Thank you.
So there you go. There's the new Pentagon guy, right? And here he is, Cam Higbee. And he needs $50, okay? He needs $50 so Israel will buy him a new phone. Okay? Also, really quick. I'm sure if I type this in, it'll pop up right away. Got it. There you go. Second scroll here. Easy one.
All intentional. It's Hamas's plan. The problem is that their plan is essentially to spread this propaganda throughout the internet by using. Sorry, guys.
All right, let's go to RA's Cam. Get yourself together there, my friend.
The launching of missiles from densely populated urban areas like the Gaza Strip, it essentially they want people to see what is happening. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Ari, I want to get to this politically.
All in.
What the fuck? When you can't, when the Israel propaganda is just so bad that you just like short circuit it. When you just like in the middle of your Israel propaganda, you just like fucking like what? Just a system fail. The Zionism button didn't work. I mean, he's really connected. I mean, I'm not doing a bit. He's really connected to Netanyahu and the Zionist plan in Israel. I'm not doing a weird bit with that. I'm being serious. So, and this is actually one you can use if you like, you know, whatever. But I don't use that one lightly. But he's literally paid by Israel to do propaganda. So, anyways, there you go. That's just one of them. And there's a whole room full of these people now.
Do every single day. They do a lot of hard work, and we want to make sure that they're up to the task and that they're on board and willing to serve our commander-in-chief, who was elected by the whole of the American people to serve as our president. And we support him 100% here at the Department of War. That is our mission. That is our chain of command. So personnel is policy. The secretary has said that many times, and I know you all in this room are aware of that as well. That was really the crux of his speech at Quantico not long ago to the generals.
Mercado is a liar. Name something I've lied about. Spacey Casey 820. Here you go. Here you go. Name something I've lied about. I even pinned your comment. There you go.
Our people are our most important asset. So we will continue to make sure that our people are consistently putting America first. That's something we care very much about. Yes, Alex.
Thanks, Kinsley. Are there plans to host or hold more of these regular press briefings? And if so, how frequently?
Absolutely. We'd love to. It'd be great to get everybody in here. I know we have the Christmas.
How often are we having this MAGA meetup? This is great.
Holiday coming up, but we'd love to make it a weekly or bi-weekly tradition. So we're excited.
Weekly or bi-weekly tradition. Okay, so this wasn't even a real thing. This is like basically like the Epstein binders that they handed out. It's wild because you got like layers of this thing, right? You got the grift, you got the agenda of the Republican Party, but they also have to uphold their own bullshit. So they have to keep their MAGA acolytes involved, right? So they have to host shit like this to keep them like, oh, I'm a journalist. I'm a journalist. But like it's all theater. Like even within their own, I mean, even within their own actions and like Pete Heggs and like all that's, but this is a staged event for MAGA, so they can say that I'm a Pentagon journalist now. It's not like it's like a fake. It's hard. It's like a weird. It's like a gray area because it's like I'm not trying to say that it's like this isn't happening because it is, but it's not anything that's gonna like be relevant. Only within their own little MAGA circle, and like they're gonna huff their own cult and like uphold it and like validate whatever. But in the grand scheme of things, though, this is nothing. Like it's no different than the Epstein binder event that they handed out to here. Epstein binder. Let me see if we can get a picture right away. It should be here. Well, there you go. This is one of the people. When they handed him out the Epstein files, phase 1. Oh, this is the little girl that launched Hot Girls for Cuomo.
Today, I'm officially starting Hot Girls for Cuomo.
Ew.
So if you are a hot girl for Andrew Cuomo, I want to hear from you.
Not a single hot girl showed up for Andrew Cuomo. There you go. Tune into human events daily in 45 minutes. All right. So you understand like real things happen, but within their thing, it's like fake, right? It's weird. It's a gray area. I know I'm sounding like I'm saying two different things, but I'm trying not to. All right. So when you think of this Pentagon press briefing, think of this. And like when they handed them out the Epstein file binder, that wasn't real.
Excited to have you all in the Pentagon for those.
And we will be receiving more readouts of the Secretary of War's meetings, with the president yesterday, much like the State Department and the White House that provide readouts and scheduling and things like that. Will we be receiving more of those?
Absolutely. In the interest, as I said in my opening, in the interest of transparency, we want to make sure that you all are informed. That's a commitment we take seriously. Obviously, we're slightly different than other agencies in that we have national security and operational concerns, but we will tell you as much as we can because we want the American public to know all the incredible things that our warfighters are doing every single day and all the amazing initiatives the Secretary is pursuing here at the Department of War. Yes.
Thanks, Jordan Conradson with Gateway Pundit. I wanted to ask you, in May, the Secretary announced a new investigation into the Afghanistan withdrawal under Biden. In light of the recent events with one of these refugees killing...
You said conservative chicks are hot. Girls don't become conservative naturally. Okay, it's they're influenced to be that way.
A service member. Is there any updates on that?
I mean, obviously I'm not a woman, but, you know, just from the outside looking in and being a part of that world, like, women are not naturally, like, fascist and hateful. That's just not in their nature. They're influenced by their husband or, you know, relationships or their environment that they're in. But naturally, though, I don't feel women are the right wing naturally.
Investigation.
I don't have any updates for you at this time, but I can tell you that the review that we're doing into the horrendous Afghanistan withdrawal under the previous administration, the Biden administration, is expected to be complete by summer of 2026. And we are committed to ensuring that this review, unlike others, is much more unredacted, that the American people are able to consume the report for themselves and see what truly happened on that fateful day and that fateful withdrawal. And we owe it to our service members to accomplish that. The review is being led by our chief Pentagon spokesman and senior advisor to the Secretary, Sean Parnell.
You said, you're getting paid by Israel? Oh my God, brother. Where have you been, dude? What do you mean? No, where's his own? There you go. What do you mean, dude? He was sent there to go do propaganda with the food and say, look at their Gazans are not being starved. Look at all the food pallets. You did a whole bit. He was sent there, paid trip by Israel to go do propaganda at the distribution. I don't even know where he's standing. There you go, with his stupid. And then he lied and said this was the only handbag that he could find at the store in Tel Aviv or whatever. Where's the videos? There you go. Just a reminder that there's plenty of food in Gaza. Yeah, Mercado's a liar. He's not paid by Israel. By the way, you don't get to do this unless you're literally paid by Israel government to do this.
Vegetables, just cans and cans of vegetables. You could feed so many people chickpeas. You could feed so many people with this stuff. What do we have over here?
You should know by now not to question me. I mean, it is what you can question me, but I got something for you if you really want to do that. Spacey Casey.
It's like more chickpeas. Like, look at just endless amounts of food. And over that fence, there's more food. Just sitting on pallets, going nowhere. We have soup here. Ramen. Just endless amounts of food. It just keeps going. When you think it's going to end, it keeps going. So much food.
When we know that the aid distribution centers are controlled by a MAGA evangelist or whatever, however you say it. What's the Gaza aid distribution? It's controlled by a Christian. Whatever. The GHF. Yeah, it's controlled by a Christian whatever. That's connected to MAGA and Israel won't let any aid in. There's like one, I think there's like a place now. The GHF sent a money that was winding down operations now because of the successful completion of its emergency mission. It's so finished, it's completed. 3 million packages containing the equivalent of more than 187 million meals. Let me, who's the GHF? GHF, yeah, Johnny Moore. Former Trump campaign advisor. There you go. He was in charge of the GHF. So, you have like a MAGA controlled aid distribution point, right? Which they're obviously connected with Israel. And then you got people like Cam Higbee going out there and then lying about the aid distribution, being paid to do so. And then you got Cam Higbee taking selfies with Netanyahu. You got Cam Higbee arguing for the side of Israel in the genocide. I mean, do you need any more? Do you need more? You have Cam Higbee acting like the Israelis when aid comes in and they like take all the food off the truck and throw it all over the place and act like fucking savages. With the aid trucks, Cam Higby's acts just like that when he's out there covering protests and shit. Same way, acts the exact same way.
An Afghan veteran himself, and he takes very seriously the responsibility to getting answers to the American people. So we are committed to that 100%, and in summer 2026, the public will be able to have that report. Yes.
Thank you, Kinsley. A question for you in regards to the Afghan withdrawal. When we brought these migrants onto military bases, or these refugees onto military bases, we saw a surge in assault immediately after, sexual assault and physical assaults. And then all of a sudden, under the previous administration, we no longer learned of anything that was happening anymore on these military bases. Does this Pentagon plan on giving us some type of criminal data on that to see what actually happened when they were brought onto these military bases? And do we have any status updates on like FBI investigations and such?
So for FBI investigations, anything that would be a criminal law enforcement matter would obviously be something to direct to the Department of Justice, as we cannot speak to that from our perch here at the Department of War. But what I can tell you is that we are aware of a lot of that activity that went on. It's despicable. One is too many, right? And we understand that the Biden administration, unfortunately, put our troops and our country last in many cases. The Secretary is committed to correcting that. And I think that's what you're going to see going forward. Yes.
They're going to do their thing. They're going to lie. That's just, there's nothing even to refute with that, with the, like, no, they did it because they just lie. If you come out with a lie that's just so egregious that you can't like refute the lie, then it, like, if anything, like in their propaganda, it'll like validate it because, oh, you can't refute my lie. Oh, then it's true. And that's just every day at this point. They'll just come up with new lies, new ways to lie.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. I wanted to ask about Somalia, which isn't talked about very much, but we have done 101 strikes in Somalia in 2025. And there was a raid carried out in some caves, and I'm quoting former Congressman Matt Gaetz, who I didn't realize would be here today, but he asked why we're sending, quote, hundreds of U.S. troops into fortified caves in Somalia to kill like 5 guys. And I think it's a good question as to why the U.S. military is still in Somalia.
Thank you for the question. So I can assure you, right, this is an America First Department of War and president. So we aren't conducting forever wars in Somalia. We're not seeking regime change or, we're not nation building. But I will say that this department's narrowly scoped, intelligence-driven counterterrorism operations in places like Somalia, alongside our partners, allow us to protect the American homeland from terrorist threats and to protect our interests. So we will continue.
Way to say the exact same thing, but differently and like corporately.
Continue to make sure that the American people are kept safe. That's our utmost priority. But, we're not isolationists. We're also not neocons. We're realists. We understand that threats face the American people every single day. We take that incredibly seriously. But at the same time, we're always going to make sure that we're putting America first.
And if I could follow up on Laura's question, actually, but from a different angle, she mentioned that are we reassessing our relationship with Qatar because of funding of the Muslim Brotherhood? It's been widely documented in mainstream Israeli papers that the Israeli government funded Hamas, which we also designate as a terrorist organization. Are we therefore reassessing our relationship with Israel because of this?
No, of course not. No.
Better question for the State Department, as they're the ones who have those foreign diplomatic channels. Yes.
No, CENTCOM is forever. Okay.
Thank you. And thank you for doing this press briefing. I wanted to get back to the Southcom strikes real quick, just broadly speaking, not specifically about the September 2nd strike, but broadly speaking, are we doing any kinds of...
Nice, dude, with the White Sox hat, the White Sox flat bill, dude, in the Pentagon briefing.
Post-strike assessments to determine that the intelligence that informed those strikes was...
Not even, like, why even, what I mean? Nope, just leave it down there. You know what I mean? Just... nice and loose tie there with just some space. Fuck it. White Sox hat.
Accurate. Are we recovering any drugs on board those vessels? You mentioned each vessel struck is equivalent of 25,000 overdose deaths. So are we mostly picking up fentanyl or cocaine or what have you? What's going on?
It's fentanyl because that's the drug we're using in the propaganda this time. So yeah, fentanyl.
With these boats, like what's on these boats?
Yeah, thank you for the question. So I can tell you in terms of your question about intelligence that our intelligence absolutely confirms who these people are. And I can't get into right from this podium how we know that. I don't want to communicate to the enemy the ways in which we're carrying out these strikes. But I can tell you that without a shadow of a doubt, every single one of our military and civilian lawyers knows that these individuals are narco-terrorists. We know what they're carrying, where they're coming from, and where they're going. And they are trying to bring drugs to our shores that kill and hurt American citizens. The president takes that very seriously. And when he designated these groups designated terrorist organizations, that opened up a lot for us here at the Department of War. We can engage in ways that we never could before. So that's all I can say at the moment on that topic, but I can 100% affirm that we know without a shadow of a doubt who these narco-terrorists are.
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse news conference here. Seriously.
Yes, Wade.
So you were speaking earlier about the Washington Post report concerning.
Trust us. All right. You got to take our word for it. We have the lawyers and we got all the truth. We got nothing but truth here. All right. That's what about the source? No, just us.
The Secretary of War and Admiral.
So much truth.
And my question is, does the Department of War plan on pursuing any sort of legal action against the Washington Post? And what consequences will there be for lying to the American people? Because, of course, the implication there was that Pete Hegseth and Admiral Bradley are war criminals. And that was the implication. And that's what a lot of people on social media were saying.
Don't report the story. Report what some people on social media and the response was. Nice. Right-wing journalism 101.
After the fact. So could you speak to that?
Don't respond to the validity of like what Washington Post put out, which was nothing but facts. Post on like what random Twitter users were responding. But that's what MAGA does. That's what the right wing does. That's what created MAGA back in like the early 2010s. Was like they'd go on social media and find like some responses to their posts from like random fucking social media users that have like 4 followers, and they go, I'm being attacked, I'm being canceled, because like some Twitter user like responded to something that they didn't like, and like maybe they got ratioed or something on Twitter back in the day, and then like they created their whole worldview of like being canceled.
Yeah, it is frankly disgusting that the Washington Post would publish something that is so insanely false. And
yes, Matt Gaetz is sitting there. I already went into it. Yep.
Seen this from the mainstream media before, right? Anonymous sources that are being quoted that probably have no idea what's going on. And the Washington Post actually went so far as to falsely attribute a quote to the Secretary of War, that he never said. That is preposterous that they would write that and pass that off as true journalism. Thankfully, the New York Times stepped in and corrected the record and let the American people know that what they were publishing was absolutely fake news. So the Washington Post, I think readership should think twice before reading that outlet again. It is disgraceful that they call themselves journalists, and we told them as such, right? We get press queries like we do from all of you. We told them this story was completely fake news on Thanksgiving evening with a 3-hour deadline, and they still published it anyway. It's disgraceful, but thankfully the American people see through it.
It's disgraceful that they reported facts, but you know, it's bullshit.
Yes, Jack.
It's bullshit, yeah.
Does the Secretary's office or the Pentagon in general, the department, have a message for Senator Wicker, who, as a Republican, has now backed this inquiry into Secretary Hegseth, again, accusing him?
Oh boy, there he is. There's Pizza Gates Pacific, the guy that was holding the binder. There's Binder Boy. I got the Epstein file. They gave us the Epstein file. I got it. There he is. The same guy who told me that he hopes I don't run over a landmine when I'm in Ukraine. He tweeted that like back on I had an old Twitter account, and I was going like viral for posting like our convoy to Ukraine, and he had quote tweeted me along with Ian Miles Strong that they hope I run over a landmine or I get hit by a Russian missile. So that's my interaction with this loser.
In general, the department have a message for Senator Wicker, who, as a Republican, has now backed this inquiry into Secretary Hegseth, again, accusing him of war crimes.
Do you know how we beat these people? We need men, actual real men, to challenge them to a fight for charity. I think that's the only way we really solve this. Okay, fuck debates, fuck all this cringe ass internet talk, dumb shit. Let's fight. But like for charity, and like the money that we raise can go towards something good. Because at this point, there's nothing else to talk about. Like I want to fight these people, but like we gotta do it legally. Obviously, you can't just like run up and like run a fade on them like that. You'll get put in prison, obviously. So and you can't do that. That's political violence. It's not political violence to organize a fight and like we can do something good with it, because there's really no talking to these people. There's really no like debating with Jack Pacific and like getting to the bottom of why he believes what he believes. Like there's nothing to talk about anymore.
It seemed strange to see a Republican going after one of President Trump's own cabinet members.
So I can confirm that the Secretary of War spoke with Senator Wicker, and they had a good conversation where he was able to explain to him a lot of the rationale behind these strikes. And we work closely with all of our partners on the Hill, whether Republican or Democrat, to keep them up to date on what this department is doing in regards to the strike. So we will continue to do that, and we'll continue to brief members of Haskins.
Oh yeah, we can do it on the White House lawn. We can organize a White House lawn fight.
And we look forward to continuing those relationships.
Quick follow-up, you mentioned working with partners on the Hill. Another senator on the Hill, the Democrat side, is Senator Mark Kelly. Now, we heard some reporting about a possible investigation into him regarding his status as a retired member of the United States Navy, still on pension, and therefore still under the jurisdiction of the Uniform Code of Military Justice. And as such, his membership, you mentioned the seditious six, would that be grounds for possibly bringing him back to active service for an investigation, for NJP, or even a full court martial?
So you're correct. The Department of War received serious allegations of misconduct against Senator Mark Kelly, and in accordance with the Uniform Code of Military Justice and other applicable recommendations and regulations, we're doing a thorough review of all of these allegations. And the Secretary of War has tasked the Secretary of the Navy, John Phelan, with doing a thorough review, looking into all of these allegations and providing him an update on December 10th. So we will have more information to come on that. But I would just add that this despicable video that Mark Kelly participated in with the seditious six was a politically motivated influence operation that was...
Oh, was it? It was after you just spent the first bit saying we got a new marketing department for the Department of Defense and they're going to put a halo on what we're putting out so that way we can do propaganda. But when Democrats do videos, better not be one Democrat video.
An attempt to undermine the chain of command to sow distrust and division in our armed forces. That is absolutely ridiculous, and it puts our warfighters at risk. And again, he doubled down on the Sunday shows. I don't know if you all saw him on the Sunday shows, but he basically insinuated that service members who do not defy President Trump's orders could face potential prosecution in the future when Democrats are back in power. He even called our troops and likened them to those of the Russian military. This is totally disgraceful from an elected official, and the department takes it very seriously, and that is why we have launched this review.
Oh, okay.
So if Secretary Phelan were to recommend court-martial, that would be on board?
What was the question? Sorry.
If Secretary Phelan were to recommend court-martial, that could be an option on the table?
All options are on the table at this moment in time, and we look forward to getting the Secretary of the Navy's review. And the Secretary of War has been very clear in his statements as well that he takes this extremely seriously, and it is unacceptable. That's all the time I have today. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate you coming out.
Well, there you go. There was your show press briefing with MAGA's top losers. The chosen press of Hegseth. Wow, look at Jigs. Literally, ironically, the only hard-hitting question was her question. But like I told you, it's coming from a place of hate. It's not coming from a place of trying to find the facts about the Qatari base in Idaho. It's because she hates Muslims. Is this the Department of Lies? She reads those. She's a corporate bot, of course. She's like AI generated. I'm just happy that they found her brunette this time. I mean, usually they stick with blondes, but I'm glad that brunette representation in the government finally. Oh boy. Meanwhile, in Russia, today's meeting in Moscow between U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and President Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner's involved now. With Putin. Wow. There you go. Well, that's the situation in Russia, Ukraine. Nice. Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner now. Bro, you hate Trump so much. He's the fucking president. What? Why is that even a take? You thought you cooked with that one? Look at this one. Builds versus Builds has a take, you guys, and says, Mercado, you hate him so much. But what do you think I was doing for the past 3 years? I was still doing news. I was still doing updates. I was still doing my shit. It's not my fault Republicans put Donald Trump up for president and he gives content every single day. Is that my problem? Is it my fault that Donald Trump has been president for 10 years? Or he's been the leader of the Republican Party when we only have two parties really to choose from in the country. And he's been the leader of that political party for 10 plus years. Do you ever go outside? Builds versus Builds. Do you go outside? Do you spend time outside of the internet? Because when we have a president that is like Trump and like my platform is current events and news, that's what we're going to be talking about. You could argue that you do media on anyone, you could have derangement syndrome on that person or whatever. Like any dumb argument from people that don't have mental capacity beyond scrolling TikToks. Oh, did I touch a nerve? Not really. No, but I just need people to see how stupid you are. Without Trump's content, you'd be in my mom's basement. No, actually, I served in the military for 10 years. I got an honorable discharge, and I've been able to use some of those resources to help me get ahead. It took me a while to recover after being active duty and learning how to like integrate back into civilian life after active duty military, but I did, and now 7 years later, I'm doing better. I got my own place now. A lot of my media is revolved around covering events for myself that don't have anything to do with Donald Trump, like riots and the front lines of a war. But sure, definitely. You know what I mean? Definitely. But it's not my fault. I hope that, you know what I mean? I hope the downfall of Donald Trump puts me in a house. That would be amazing. Then Donald Trump, I can dance on Trump's downfall and I get a house out of it. What? I guess he is the president for the working class after all. Tell you what. Okay, in some other news really quick, before we get into another topic I want to talk about a little bit at the end, which is kind of personal, but I think something to review and go into, which is good. But let's get into Minnesota now. It would be nice to stop seeing and hearing Trump someday. Yeah, but until then, which is going to be fine. I mean, after Trump, right-wing, the conservative party is only going to go more extreme. They're not going to come back to normal, so the content will continue. You think it's going to stop after Trump? I'll have another dumb fuck right-wing populist to cover after that, and it'll be fine. Where is the press conference? You got Jacob Fry and Melvin Carter in Minnesota. They gave a press conference today about the upcoming federal raids. Oh my goodness. There you go. We're going to have federal raids, which we already have been. We've had federal raids here in Minnesota, but this is the mayor of Minneapolis, along with the mayor of St. Paul. We got the Twin Cities, right? You got Minneapolis and St. Paul. But you're going to have... you're about to have some federal immigration raids. Continuing, Trump administration orders ICE to target undocumented Somali immigrants in Twin Cities. Just came out today. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement have been directed by the Trump administration to target undocumented Somali immigrants in the Twin Cities. A person familiar with the planning confirmed. A U.S. official says ICE is planning to surge resources to the Minneapolis-St. Paul area to launch immigration enforcement operations targeting individuals with deportation orders. The region has a large population of immigrants from Somalia, with some of whom have deportation orders. The enhanced ICE operations in the Twin Cities are expected to begin this week, the official said. So I honestly, we got New Orleans delayed, but if we're about to have immigration raids here, I might just stay home. We're about to have raids here to cover right down the road. I mean, I'll just stay here. President Trump, I don't want Somalis in our country. In the midst of Tuesday's reports, President Trump took further aim at Minnesota's Somali community, the country of Somalia, and the diaspora at large. Trump said they contribute to nothing. I don't want them in our country, Trump said to the press on Tuesday. He said, that's not politically correct, but I don't care. I don't want them here. Their country is no good for a reason. In a Thanksgiving post where he also called Governor Walz a slur, we called him the R word. Mr. Trump said Somali refugees are completely taking over the once great state of Minnesota. Okay, so we're going to be having federal raids against the Somali community, likely in Minneapolis. And then here was a press conference from a couple hours ago from the city leaders here in Minnesota.
Good afternoon. My name is Jacob Fry. I'm the mayor of Minneapolis, and we are here to respond to a number of credible reports from several media outlets relaying that there are as many as 100 federal agents that will be deployed to the Twin Cities with a specific focus on targeting our Somali community. To our Somali community, we love you and we stand with you. That commitment is rock solid. Minneapolis is proud to be home to the largest Somali community in the entire country. They've been here for decades in many instances. They're entrepreneurs and fathers. They benefit both the culture and the economic resilience of our city. Targeting Somali people means that due process will be violated. Mistakes will be made. And let's be clear, it means that American citizens will be detained for no other reason than the fact that they look like they are Somali. That is not now and will never be a legitimate reason. For decades, the Somali community has added greatly to our city. The economic fabric, their hard work, their leadership, it has made Minneapolis a better place. We are not given advance notice or inside information about these kinds of operations. But here's what we can promise. We will not compromise our values here in Minneapolis. Our values and our commitment to the Somali community, to every community of immigrants and people in our city, is rock solid and will be unwavering. Our police, many of whom are Somali themselves, are trusted partners in keeping people safe. They will not collaborate with any federal agency around doing immigration enforcement work. Our city staff and our law enforcement will not ask the question as to whether an individual is documented or not. And by the way, there are more than 80,000 Somali people living in Minnesota. Almost all of them are both documented and citizens. And the city has worked with community partners who have compiled Know Your Rights information. And so here's what we know. You have the right to remain silent, and you have the right to a lawyer. You can refuse to sign documents until that lawyer is present. You have the right to not open the door unless a warrant has been shown. The city of Minneapolis provides free immigration legal resources. And if you or a family member or a loved one needs access to a lawyer, go to our website or call 311. And we're going to work with our partners like the city of St. Paul, partners like the state of Minnesota, to do everything to support our neighbors and to coordinate on any incident that happens. Obviously, this is a frightening moment for our Somali community. There have been many frightening moments over the last several months to our immigrant communities in Minneapolis. In Minneapolis, our diversity is diverse. People come from 1,000 different backgrounds, mentalities, and perspectives with one beautiful thing in common. They love our city and they're proud to call it home. And we're going to stand with them every step of the way. But we need to also be demanding better from an administration who is intent on targeting people and committing so much time, energy, and money to terrorizing certain groups within our community. That's not American. That's not what we are about. And we're going to do right by every single person in our cities. And so to our Somali community, Daman Shabka, Somaliyed Kunul, Minnesota, Garahan, Minneapolis, Waan, Kuji Janilahai, Waan, Ku Gereb Taganhan. We love you. We stand with you, and we aren't backing down. With that, I will turn it over to the mayor of St. Paul, Mayor Melvin Carter.
Good afternoon, I'm Melvin.
This is the city where shit will happen if it does. Like Minneapolis, like the Twin Cities are just different. I mean, they're both led by Democratic politicians, but St. Paul is far more conservative by a long shot, like city-wise.
Carter, the mayor of the city of St. Paul. As Mayor Fry just said, we are hearing credible information around a convergence of federal law enforcement officials, federal agents coming into our community with the intentionality around targeting our Somali community. Just earlier today, we saw, sadly, the President of the United States open his mouth to take a whole group of people, a whole country of people, and denigrate just based on where they come from. And somehow we found ourselves to a place where that doesn't surprise any of us.
I'm glad to hear Mayor Melvin Carter can raise his voice. After watching him in St. Paul the other day, that was sad to watch. No wonder he lost his election. But like, where was this on the streets last week when you had the raid going on?
But when the mayor said the word un-American, it rang true to me. I grew up celebrating in America and learning about an America who prided ourselves on being a beacon that drew people from other places. I grew up in an America that prided itself on being a country of immigrants, that prided itself on the fact that people from other countries would look across a whole ocean and say, that's where I want to be. It seems that what we learned was that we've prided ourselves, and we have decades and generations of priding ourselves on being a beacon.
Okay.
For immigration from Europe. I mean, it seems to many of us like the dark.
How do you look worse than Jacob Fry? This is bad. Yo, I'm cringing. I'm cringing hard right now. How do you make Jacob Fry look like a good politician? That's nuts.
Darker skinned the immigrants who come to our country are. the more our posture on immigration as a country has shifted. That's un-American. That's concerning. And I get particularly concerned as someone who, we work all day, every day on public safety and keeping our communities safe. And all of you have heard me brag about the public safety outcomes that we're achieving and that we're really proud of. And we've understood and embraced an approach to public safety that isn't about pitting our officers or law enforcement against community members, but figuring out how to get our officers and our community members working together on the same side of the table.
Nah, I mean, like, when does the new mayor take over? When does she take over? I want to hear from her.
As much as humanly possible.
We got to see what she's going to say.
And so when the last thing that we need is federal agents coming here, pretending that we should be afraid of somebody just based on the color of their skin, just based on what they look like, just based on what country their ancestors claim as honor as a motherland.
What?
The last thing that we need is federal agents coming to town attempting to turn us against each other, to turn us against ourselves. The last thing we need.
It's like I'm not saying he's wrong when he's arguing. It's just he's doing it terribly. He's doing it so bad. But he's trying, like, the principle of what he's trying to say is true. Obviously, like that the Trump administration is trying to turn us against immigrants. Okay, but he's just sucking at this.
Agents coming in town to create chaos and challenge for us.
But also, you had the St. Paul police working with the feds last week too. So you got that's the chief of Minneapolis Police Department. The Minneapolis Police Department's had their own issues in the last, they have their own problems. But the St. Paul Police was working with the feds last week. We're actually going to get a post up here from DA. What was it? Chief O'Hara. Chief O'Hara is with Minneapolis, though. June 3rd, 2025. Reach out. Thank you for your department and your support to our multi-agency operation today. Was that was the June raid? I'm reading the message that Nikki sent. Okay, so Minneapolis police in June worked with the feds as he's standing there, which is weird. That's Chief O'Hara right there. Let me see if I can get this post up so I can show you guys. This is an email from June 3rd. Because they can go up there and say that they're not working with the feds, but they do. And they lie. This is from June 3rd. From Jamie Holt, who's the special agent in charge from the Department of Homeland Security Investigation, St. Paul. Chief O'Hara, I wanted to reach out to thank you and your department for your support on our multi-agency operation today that involved the execution of multiple federal criminal warrants. I understand the many political realities you juggle on a daily basis, and I am thankful you do not allow extraneous issues stop you from doing the right thing. That's great. Do the right thing. Help our fascism. I cannot tell you how impressed my staff were as you stepped up and personally escorted that tactical vehicle through the crowd. I believe that there are many areas where our vehicles find common ground, our offices find common ground, and our communities are safer for it. Respectfully, Jamie. I loved when you helped us. You helped us so good.
Stand together. Both of our cities have stood up immigrant and refugee services supports. In St. Paul, it's our Office of Immigrant and Refugee Services. In our city attorney's office, we encourage folks to look to those websites. We encourage folks to look to the organizations that serve immigrants and refugees across our community, because we have constant reminders out there about what your rights are. You have rights. That's an American thing. You have rights. We all have rights. And so we'll be sharing on social media today some of those resources are that people need to look to. We'll be working with our police department to ensure our capability of facilitating peaceful protests, as I imagine we'll see some people who will want to stand up and say that we disagree with this federal targeting. And just like Mayor Fry just said, we in St. Paul celebrate our large Somali community. We celebrate the contributions that our community has made to in every aspect, whether that's education, whether that's public service, whether that's public safety, whether that's our economics and local jobs. We celebrate that. Our community would not be the same without it. And so we continue to stand with the members of our Somali community. We continue to stand across municipal boundaries and across communities to say that the Twin Cities is not a place that tolerates or embraces hate. to say that the hateful and damaging rhetoric that we're hearing from Washington, D.C. right now is reprehensible. And it is not something that represents who our community is or who our country can be. And we call on ourselves. I call on myself in the face of hatred, in the face of division, in the face of what seems to be a strategy centered around intentional chaos, to lead with listening, to lead with compassion, to engage with humanity, and to ensure that we are every single day modeling the type of behavior, the type of approach, and the type of humanity that we sure wish our federal representatives in Washington, D.C. would follow suit. We have the capacity as a local community to be that loving, incredible place. That's
True.
Who we are. That's what we are.
True.
And that's certainly something that we don't need federal agents coming and disturbing. Thank you all for being here. And with that, I think I'm turning over to Councilman Ross. Oh, I'm sorry, to Councilman Ross. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Jamal Osman. I am the council member of Ward 6, someone who represents the largest East African community in Minneapolis. I am proud to say I'm a Somali American. This country welcomed me and my family 26 years ago. It has provided me a life that I did not have in Somalia. We came here and we are thankful to be here. I've been educated here, got the opportunity to serve my community, to be a council member. I know many families are fearful tonight. They are. But I want you to know that City of Minneapolis stand behind you as the leaders, both mayors and the chief and everyone that's standing behind you are here.
You guys notice that a lot, like just to kind of macro it, to look at, zoom out, that a lot of immigrants that come here get involved in the community and like become city council members, or I'm talking not just in Minnesota, but like across the country. Like they get involved in the government and and I'm not saying that to be a bad thing. That's a good, but like the people that complain about immigrants don't do fucking shit. They don't do anything. They pay their taxes, which great. I'm glad you do that. Like good, whatever. But they haven't volunteered service. They've never done anything beyond, whatever their little circle of like their own life is doing for their family, which is enough. I'm not saying I'm not trying to shit on that either. I'm trying to say that the people that hate on immigrants don't do nearly as much as immigrants close when it comes to like for the grand scheme of things and like contributing to society. I mean, some do. I'm not saying all are like this, but a lot of the rhetoric against immigrants come from people that sit on their ass all day and don't do fucking anything other than take care of their own behind. And that's it.
Here to stand with you. Our community has lived through fear in the past, and we're not going to let us divide that. We're going to stay informed, we're going to stay safe, and we're going to support each other. We will continue to working our partners on the ground so residents know their rights.
Like a lot of the people that cry about they're losing their country because their race and shit, like it's your fault because you're doing nothing. Like the white nationalist victimhood bullshit is skill issue. You guys can't fuck anymore. You like listen to Andrew Tate and Andrew Tate says that dating is gay now. They're talking to women is gay and that's why you're alone and like you have no friends, and you listen to people like that all day long, and then they get you to hate everybody and you sit there, you do fucking nothing. And then immigrants come and then they make the communities better because they're living here and they want a better opportunity. And dumb fuck white nationalists that are just perpetual victims are doing fucking nothing. And you expect the situation to improve because your anger or their anger.
They know where to turn for help. And we know that Minneapolis will not abandon. One of the things I do want to say, and obviously everyone knows that our president is racist, xenophobic, Islamophobic, and we are going to fight that. America has a history of fighting and stopping those kind of individuals who continue to divide people and divide communities. Many Somalis that live in this community are working on your groceries, working in your hospitals, delivering your babies, they're doctors. They are very successful individuals. Now I would like to switch into Somali to speak to my community. Assalamu alaikum. Walaalayaal waxaan la hadlayaa community-ga magaalada Minneapolis. Anigoo ah Jamal Usman. Waxaan inii sheegayaa City Minneapolis garabkiina ay taagan tahay. Community-geena target ayaa lagu yahay. Qolyahan dalka soo galaya oo la sheegay hadda.
Okay, then we got the Minneapolis police chief here.
Good afternoon. My name is Brian O'Hara, BRIAN_OHARA. I am the Minneapolis police chief. I know the recent reports that are circulating among the media are concerning. I just want to be clear. We are not confirming anything that has been in any of these reports, and we don't have any official information ourselves. What we are aware of is what has been happening in our community. And our involvement, the mayor's leadership on that, council members and other elected officials in the city did not start today. That's been going on. The fear that the community has been experiencing, immigrant communities have been experiencing in this city is real. I have been meeting with pastors, imams, business owners that are having a real impact in our city. People are afraid to go to church. They're afraid to go to worship. They're not spending money at a lot of our immigrant businesses in the city. And from a public safety perspective, the fear of people to cause the police is something that to call the police in a time of need is something that harms everyone. We don't need that. If people are able to prey on certain people in our community, to victimize them, to rob them, because they think those folks are less likely to call the police, that makes everyone in the city less safe. It does absolutely nothing for public safety. So I just need to be clear, as our mayor has stated, the Minneapolis Police Department does not work with federal law enforcement for the purpose of conducting immigration enforcement.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. I think you're not telling the truth. I think the community would agree with me because they're out there seeing it.
We don't provide information to federal immigration authorities. We don't ask people about their immigration status. Our mission is clear: to protect life, to uphold the law, and to maintain safety for all people in our communities. Over the last 24 hours, I have addressed every roll call in this city from last night into this morning, not because of these news reports, but because I have been concerned. Both over the weekend, we've been getting increased reports of immigration-related activity from members in our community. We can't verify that, but we know people in the community are heightened. And we also know that there have been incidents more recently, two very recently in St. Paul around immigration enforcement.
Yeah, talk about that.
So our objective—
where's the St. Paul police chief?
—is straightforward. As a police department,
What's
I
the
want
Minneapolis
to try and
police chief?
minimize our officers' exposure to any of that type of enforcement activity and only respond when there is a legitimate public safety issue that we are responsible to our community to provide. And that means when there are threats of violence, when there is actual violence, or when there's property destruction.
For me, like, calling the police is a last resort. You know what's crazy? I think I've called the police once in my entire life, in my 32 years, because of the car crash that was in Blaine like last year. That was I still have nightmares about that because people, they were dead. And there were dead bodies in the street. And that was crazy to look at. But I think that was like the only time, and like I can't remember when I've called. I don't know. Like there are people just like calling the police like it's their mods 911 mods, please. Like, I got a disturbance. I just don't. I guess it's not how I'm wired, I guess, to call the authorities when I can't handle this. Obviously, if a crime is happening, right? If literally you're like looking at crime and like you're just gonna call the police, but like I guess maybe I've been privileged and I haven't seen that. I haven't seen the crime like that, I guess, to require me to call the police. Or like usually like when I see crime, the police are already there attending to the crime. But I just don't, me personally, calling the police is just not something that happens often or even at all. I just don't do it.
In moments like this, I know the tensions are high. I know how real the fear is in our community. People are going to want to speak out, to protest, and to exercise their First Amendment rights. Those are the rights of everyone in our community.
I gotta bundle up now. The wintertime protests now, full on, there's snow and shit out there. It's cold. It's cold outside. So that's why, when if Jake Lang and these idiots come here, because you gotta realize all this is connected between the immigration raids, these fucks, this loser who was just in Dearborn. He's running for office in Florida, I guess. But there you go. March on Minneapolis.
1,800.
Where's the actual post? How do I get the post?
1,800.
We're marching on the Somalian dictatorship in Minneapolis. Weird how that got posted on November 28th. And then days later, we get the announcement from Trump that they're targeting the Somalian community, right? I mean, definitely not sus. But, I mean, this guy's from Florida, and if he wants to come up here on January 17th yeah, I think the weather will take care of him. I think the weather alone will do it. I mean, I hope on January 17th, we have blizzards during that time. Like, you can't even see outside because it's just snow coming down, and it's cold. So, I mean, have fun. I'll be out there filming him do whatever dumb shit he's going to do. Wearing my layers, but I mean, doing this is going to be cold. Doing your little propaganda, it's going to be super cold here. So, I mean, if you're going to do that, whatever. Let's all good. We'll see where this goes. It's a really cold time, though, to be doing propaganda and bullshit in the streets of Minnesota at this time. It's just cold. So I don't know how that's all going to play out.
And I want to be clear that we will absolutely defend people's rights to do just that. I also ask that if demonstrations do happen around any type of immigration raid, that they remain nonviolent so that we can keep everyone in our community safe, so that we minimize the risk of any tragedy happening or the immigrant communities that are already suffering to suffer that much more.
So that way we don't have to tear gas and flashbang you to protect the feds. Okay, we don't want to have to do that, but we will.
There is destruction in our neighborhoods. Our officers are committed to serving a diverse city. Mayor, council member referenced, we have many officers who themselves are immigrants, and many of us are deeply connected to the immigrant community in our city. With that, we are also working around revisions to our immigration enforcement policy. That has been in the works for weeks. We've obtained feedback from community and community-based organizations, and we will be issuing additional guidance this week to our officers, again, to try and address some of the issues that we're seeing nationally, and to provide clear guidelines to our officers. With that, I'll turn it back to our mayor.
We'll open it to questions.
Just to be clear, these 100 agents are on the ground and they call it.
Okay, so they've got additional guidance going out for the police during this time. The raids in the operation in New Orleans got delayed, so I'm probably just gonna stick home for now. Like, I know yesterday we started planning for the New Orleans trip, and honestly, we could go down there for like a couple days. But I'm not leaving. I mean, we got this coming now. This came in just this morning, and we've been seeing raids happening now for the past couple of weeks. But now this is like a new push. So I don't think I have to leave anywhere. I think we're going to be covering if anything, you guys will probably see like Ford Fisher and the status coup, and like they're probably going to be here in Minnesota, ironically.
Crowd control. Both cities, Minneapolis and St. Paul, continue to send officers for that capacity.
Yeah. I was talking to Mayor Carter about this just recently, and here's the thing. Our police officers are not ICE agents. They will not cooperate with ICE agents. But the presence of ICE agents doesn't suddenly make our police officers not police officers. That's what Mayor Carter said to me the other day, and he's exactly right. Our police officers have an obligation, first of all, not.
That's gonna be my new thing from now. Whenever like politicians say two things at the same time, I'm gonna go 6-7. That's what that means. I'm redefining what 6-7 means. All right.
To enforce federal immigration law that is not their job. I want our police officers keeping people safe. I want our police officers responding to violent crime. I want our police officers preventing homicides and carjackings and shootings from occurring in the first place. You know what I don't want them doing? I don't want our police officers spending a single second hunting the father down that just dropped his kids off at daycare, who's about to go and work a 12-hour shift, who happens to be from Mogadishu or who happens to be from Ecuador. That man makes our city a better place. That man is a valued resident of our city and someone who we're proud to have him call Minneapolis and or St. Paul home. Our police officers do respond to 911 calls. And there are instances where they will have to escort an ambulance. There will be instances when somebody will call 911 reporting a kidnapping. Many times those calls do in fact come in even during some form of federal raid. So the presence of ICE doesn't mean that our responsibility to keep people safe stops. It means that we have to be there to protect people, to protect property, and to save lives. That job doesn't get...
We've only seen, when local police get involved in it, we've only seen them really protect ICE. Like, they don't really I mean, in Chicago, it was getting gray area where you had the Chicago police like actually having the backs of the people. Not every time, but you saw it out there. Like they were getting tear gassed and like the other on the opposite side of the feds. But more often than not, we've seen the local police like they're like security for the feds.
Thrown in the garbage simply because the actions of the federal government happen to be garbage themselves. Please.
If I can respond to that, what we need is a law enforcement presence that's a stabilizing and reassuring presence. Our law enforcement presence ought to make people feel more safe, less fearful. That's the word that you use. And help us facilitate safe outcomes in our community. That's the problem with what we see from the federal government right now, is that we're seeing federal agents operate in communities across our country, not just
and then the local police come out in riot gear, and so it's like you got the people out there protesting the vehicles go in and out of whatever ICE detention center that they build for the whatever, and like the people out there protesting the vehicles going in and out, and then you got the local police come out in riot gear and like stand there and push the protest away from the ICE area. That's what's gone on.
Paul in Minneapolis, but in communities across our country in ways that certainly by certainly have the impact and actually seem to be designed for the purpose of making people more fearful and making people feel less safe in our community. That's a subversion. The problem is in St. Paul and in Minneapolis and all across the country is that we see federal agents showing up. And like I said, it feels to me intentionally, but whether it's intentional or not, federal agents showing up in communities across this country and having the impact of making people feel less safe, of making situations feel chaotic. And it is the responsibility of our police officers to respond to unsafe and chaotic situations in our community and help to try to be a stabilizing presence. And that's what I said earlier, and I think Chief O'Hare acknowledged this as well. And the truth is, you can interrupt me if you like, I don't even actually like the phrase crowd control because our goal has to be what I said at the beginning, to be a stabilizing presence, to be a reassuring presence, and as you've heard many people say today, to facilitate.
So what do you call it then? What if you don't call it crowd control? What word are we gonna? What are you gonna call it instead? Something nicer?
Not control a crowd, but to facilitate the crowd's ability.
Oh, crowd facilitation. There you go. Crowd control. Crowd facilitation. There you go. That's a better way to put it. There you go.
To safely express their First Amendment rights. Now, one of the key things to that is we have people across this metro area who've been trained as peaceful interveners, people who've been trained as witnesses, as people who've been trained to be able to help be organizers. And when we show up to those protests, it's our responsibility to help enforce and follow the norms that help to keep that a peaceful protest, so that we can do our part as well to help be a stabilizing influence. And that's sort of what I was talking about when I said, we have to do the opposite of what they're doing. Sadly, we live in an era where we have to find all of our ways, whether that's community members, whether that's protesters, whether that's elected leaders, whether that's our brothers and sisters in uniform. We all have to find ways to help stabilize things that it feels like our federal government and our president of the United States are intentionally destabilizing. Yes, we need our officers to be helpful to be stabilizing presence in those spaces and in all of our spaces in our community. Thank you.
Just let Mayor Jacob speak. I mean, he sucks, but he's better at speaking.
What you are responding to.
That's why he keeps getting elected, because he knows how to do this. He's good at this, but like leader-wise, he sucks.
In fact, end up going to these scenes, or are you essentially showing up blind at a chaotic confrontation? Can you repeat the question?
I will. Yep. So the question, Ernesto's question was, do officials in our city have communication with the Department of Homeland Security so that when these large-scale raids happen, we're not going in blind? So we do work with federal law enforcement.
They're stabilizing the crowds, not brutalizing. Oh, okay. True. For sure. Good words.
And literally
comfy words that I could just take and put in my bed and cuddle up with and have a good night's sleep.
Every day around violent crime, around people smuggling fentanyl into the country, gang violence, those types of things. That is a part of our job. But our officers that do work with federal law enforcement have very clear directives, and federal law enforcement is aware that we absolutely will have nothing to do with anything related to immigration enforcement. So as you are aware, the one instance that we've had in this city, we were caught by surprise because of that. But yes, on a day-to-day basis, we are still working with federal law enforcement to prosecute people that are carjacking people in the city, that are involved in gang violence, that are involved in smuggling drugs and shooting people. That still happens. But no, there is no communication around immigration enforcement.
Chief, what preparations are you making and what
I just don't.
are you telling officers you have a riot here ready just in case things get out of hand? And what have you been telling your officers in those roll calls?
So the last 24 hours, I had the entire command staff with me, all of the chiefs at roll call, the leaders from our consent decree implementation unit present, as well as our officers that deal with response to large-scale incidents. So basically what I do is I have the consent decree implementation unit go over the city and the police department's policy around immigration enforcement to ensure everyone is abundantly clear where the guardrails are, and to talk about additional guidance that is coming out. Additionally, we have our folks talk about, from a tactical perspective, obviously because we're not going to get involved in legitimate First Amendment activity. But
we'll see about that. We'll see about that.
But if something becomes a life-threatening emergency.
Remember, I mean, the police department, Minneapolis Police Department's gone through whatever. I mean, I'm not in the city. I'm in a suburb of Minneapolis, but like, they went through an entire federal investigation after 2020. This is the same police department that like was acting like Grand Theft Auto cops during the riots and during the protests. Door open, just driving down the street, shooting people. Like load into Grand Theft Auto LSPD FR and like do whatever you want. And that's basically how the Minneapolis police were acting in 2020.
With a large crowd, ensuring that there is a plan beforehand, ensuring that our officers are aware that, oftentimes there's multiple agencies involved in these things, and we're finding out after the fact, ensuring that our officers are aware that they're only going to take orders from people appointed over them in the Minneapolis Police Department, and ensuring that there is a plan if we do have to rescue a person who may be injured or anything like that, that there is a plan to get in and get out as safely as possible. We will not automatically respond just because someone has called and asking for assistance. But if something is an emergency, there is no time to talk about and have it go up the chain of command and say,
what East Coast state is Chief O'Hara from? Because that is not a Minnesota accent. Where is he from? There you go, New Jersey. There you go. I picked up I'm walking here right away. You don't talk like that.
Are we going to respond? But, things unfold very quickly, and we will do our sworn duty to respond to protect life when it's needed.
We got time for about two more questions. Mayor Fry, you described it as a when, not an if, that ICE will be breaking the law when they engage in this operation targeting the Somali community. What tangible action can the city of Minneapolis and the police department take to actually protect people who have every legal right to be here and to hold ICE agents accountable if, as you described it, they do break the law?
I'll start by noting that all of this is based on reports that have come out recently from the media. If, in fact, those reports are accurate, and there are 100 federal immigration agents that will be deployed upon Minneapolis and St. Paul, specifically with the intention of targeting our Somali community, they're going to run into all sorts of constitutional impossibility that they can't begin to comprehend. Again, there's more than 80,000.
Oh, okay, Jacob. Okay, like what?
Somali people that live in the state of Minnesota. A very tiny portion of them aren't citizens. In other words, the vast majority, almost all of the Somali people that are here in Minnesota and in Minneapolis are citizens. I feel that it will be a practical inevitability that when people are arrested by federal immigration agents, they're going to get the wrong people. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to screw it up so badly that they're not just violating habeas corpus, but they are taking away the rights of American citizens. I've heard recently some of the comments that Donald Trump.
They have been doing that. They have been doing that in Chicago. That has been a thing.
I've heard commentary that a number of people around this country are making about our Somali community as a whole, holding them at fault for the actions of a few. The perpetrators of any form of crime should be held accountable in the United States, regardless of what ethnicity, religion, or background you come from, period. And whole communities aren't then held accountable, though, for the actions of a few. I'm Jewish, but when Bernie Madoff was committing all sorts of financial crimes, nobody held me accountable for them.
What? What? Okay. What the heck? All right, Mayor. Okay. That's such a crazy thing to say. What? Why did he say that?
Of a few. I'm Jewish. Say that? But when Bernie Madoff was committing all sorts of financial crimes, nobody held me accountable for them.
All right, that was just such a random, like, metaphorical connection that he tried to do there. And I don't know what that was. That was crazy. I don't know.
I don't know if
Yeah,
Ted
good
Kaczynski
example.
is Polish or not, but regardless if he is,
Hell
nobody
yeah.
held a whole bunch of Polish people accountable for what
Hell
Ted
yeah.
Kaczynski did.
Right, for sure.
I could give 13 more examples. But the bottom line is that we have a justice system in this country, and this justice system relies on due process. It's a justice system that we abide by.
Yeah.
We have a constitution in this country. And for those that claim to be constitutional scholars, you can't throw that constitution out when it doesn't benefit your interest or doesn't hate on the groups that you hate. That's what we're seeing a lot of right now. Yeah, I'm gonna have the chief say one thing.
I'm just saying it was a crazy thing to reference, given the current climate with like Israel and Zionism and like it's just a crazy time to use that metaphor right now.
One more question then.
I just wanted to add one point onto the original
question. I'm Jewish, but like, you know, and Bernie Madoff was facing accountability for his crimes.
Around community and fears that things may be unlawful.
Oh boy.
We have experienced reports in this city, and I'm sure in St. Paul also, where people call to say that there's folks that are masked, that they're not sure if they're law enforcement, that they may be kidnapping people. Like, we have had those reports. I want to be clear to the community. The community should know that if you see something like that, that is legitimate, that you don't know if someone is law enforcement, you should call 911. And you should provide as much information as possible, because let's not forget, we very recently had tragedy.
Can I be honest? The best resourcing as like someone as a journalist, I have to hold up my badge. This is my badge. This is my badge. No, like we track the Citizen app. We track the ICE block, which there's still a fight for that one, for like the ICE immigration apps that have been terminated by the federal government. There's still a fight for that, and there's still app developers that are trying to get that figured out, or Facebook groups, people posting in big Facebook groups, like we could either streams and like updates. So the best resourcing to know like when ICE raids are taking place and where to report them are like where people are and like the community is. Like calling the police will do nothing for you in this situation. I'm just being honest, at least from my experience.
Be in this state by someone who is purporting to be law enforcement. So
what are you going to do? You're going to call the police on the ICE activity, and then they're going to come out and stand guard for the ICE to do the same thing. They're going to come out and like be security for ICE to continue doing the very thing that they were just doing that you called the police on them for.
Please, let's be clear. That's something everyone should report, and that we will immediately respond to, and we will document, whether it's somebody's not sure if there's a kidnapping happening, somebody's not sure if there's law enforcement present or not. And that's something else, that's additional policy requirements that we are implementing, that we will document and report these types of things anytime that we hear it, and reminding our officers of their duty to intervene. So if there is anything that is a violation of someone's human rights or civil rights, excessive force or anything like that, they absolutely have a duty to intervene as police officers.
Okay, one more question. One more question from someone who has not asked a question yet.
Right here.
Thank you.
Just to verify, and also Councilman Osmond, you just heard the president say that he doesn't want Somalis in the U.S. and wants them to go back to their homeland. What's your response to him?
He's wrong, and we want them here. Somali people have been an extraordinary benefit. I'll say it again. Somali people have been a benefit to our city for longer than I have been in our city. They have started businesses and created jobs. They have added to the cultural fabric of what Minneapolis is. They were welcoming to me when I first came out to Minneapolis. In fact, they were one of the first groups that I myself got to know. To, again, villainize an entire group is ridiculous under any circumstances.
Racist.
And the way that Donald Trump is consistently doing it, I think calls into question major constitutional violations. And it certainly violates the moral fabric of what we stand by in this country. As
he did this the first term, though. The Muslim ban, remember the travel ban? And he targeted specific countries. This was in his first term, but now it's like domestic, and now it's immigration and like inverse of the travel ban from his first term.
Americans.
Which is what was crazy, how he had the Muslim Brotherhood or whatever vote for him and got all the support from like Muslim leaders and shit. Whatever.
Councilman
reliving 2024 just sucks all around because there's so many stupid people.
Osman, I'm sure you can add a bit more.
I got duped by a stupid person.
Somali Americans, Somalis are here to stay. America is an immigrant country. It has been an immigrant country for over how many years? Hundreds of years. Our community contribute a lot to this state and the city. We love this city. This is home. We're not going anywhere. Call the American people to stop the hate, to stop the Donald Trump hate. He continue to divide Americans. That's what he's doing. Like I say, it's time to stand up against his hate and unite. Somalis are here to stay. We love this state. We love this country. This is home. Thank you.
No, I'd actually like to respond to that as well. The words that
everyone's like, fuck,
founded this country, the words that launched this American experience start with "we the people."
Right.
And I believe that the sacred moments in American history are the moments we've had to decide who the we is, who gets to be included in the we.
Now it's got to be like the military, where another person goes, well, I got a caveat. I got to say one more thing too. This is like being in the military when like you've heard the message, but you got leaders that are like, I got to say something, and I got to say something, and I got to say, like, you think it's you laid it out, but whatever.
Do we mean black people? Do we mean women? Do we mean immigrants? Do we mean gay and lesbian teenagers? We have to decide who is a part of the we when we say we the people. We the people. And the Constitution of the United States, the Declaration of Independence, says that the authority,
true,
the just power of our government, the just power of those federal agents, the just power of our police officers, that authority is granted by the consent of the governed.
Right.
And so when we talk about attacks, racist, Islamophobic, xenophobic attacks on our Somali community, and you combine that with what Mayor Fry just said, the vast majority of our Somali community are citizens. So who he just attacked isn't just Somalis. Who he attacked is Somali Americans. Who he attacked is Americans.
So that's what Jacob Fry said.
So if the president of the United States is telling you out loud that he hates Americans,
right,
then I can't imagine a greater confession of incompetence to do the job that you've been hired to do than to say you don't believe that Americans belong in America. That's what Donald Trump said to us today. And it's very important for us to understand that that was not just an attack on our Somali community. It was an attack on our Somali community. And everything Mayor Fry and Councilman Osmond said is important. But it's easy to sit at home and say, oh, he's attacking them. He's attacking Americans, American citizens, American residents, American neighbors. And they're destabilizing communities and trying to get us to be afraid of somebody because of what they look like. And as Mayor Fry said, it's probable that there will be constitutional abuses. It's not probable. It's what they're saying. They are saying they target people based on how they look. Now, all of us grew up in classes that taught us that that's wrong, and it's still wrong today. So what you heard the president say today was that he is incompetent and incapable of being a president for the people of the United States because he just said out loud that he despises Americans. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. All right, we've got some housekeeping stuff as soon as we leave.
Okay, so that was a press conference with mayors, Minneapolis mayor and St. Paul mayor from the Twin Cities condemning Trump. And these blue states still have more protecting our immigrants. That they are citizens, though. No, it's more like they don't care about us white nationalist fascists. That's really what it is. Bunch of white nationalist fascists that are losing their hold on the world, thankfully, because they suck. They suck bad. So we're gonna keep you guys updated on all that. That was all really that came out today. Was that, hey, it's gonna happen. We're about to have 100 ICE agents coming to the Twin Cities, and then that was the press conference put out today, just a few hours ago. It already feels like 10 p.m., but it's only 5 o'clock, but that happened a couple hours ago. So, well, all the news coming in about New Orleans, and we're getting ready to go down and cover that. I might not have to go far. I'm probably just going to go right downtown Minneapolis or St. Paul or wherever the raids are. It's not far. So this was posted on Minneapolis City of Lakes, the website. photo from the press conference. So the city of Minneapolis is closely monitoring credible media reports that the Trump administration will target Somali immigrants in the Twin Cities beginning this week. Mayor Jacob Frey was joined by St. Paul Mayor Melvin Carter, Ward 6 Council Member Jamal Osman, Police Chief Brian O'Hara, and other city leaders. I feel like they needed the St. Paul Police Chief there too, though, because of their actions last week. Minneapolis is proud to be home of the largest Somali community in the country, said Mayor Jacob Frey. They are our neighbors, our friends, and our family. They are welcome in our city. Nothing Donald Trump does will change that. The city of Minneapolis has the most vibrant Somali American community in the nation. The city is proud of this community and many achievements of people who have immigrated from Somalia and now call Minneapolis home. The city stands with our immigrant neighbors, and we want to reaffirm that the city of Minneapolis does not work with immigration and customs enforcement on civil immigration enforcement operations. They say that, but it's not what the people are saying. I'm proud to say I'm Somali. So, okay, we watched the press conference, okay? Okay, so this is put out from the city. Minneapolis is a welcoming city. Know your rights. Minneapolis is a welcoming city, a place where all should feel safe, respected, and included, regardless of immigrant status. The city of Minneapolis works hard to put these values into policy and practice because we know that when everyone in our city feels like they belong, we all benefit. If you are someone you know is impacted, there are resources available, including free legal clinics with immigration attorneys. You can access these clinics through Community Clinics Minnesota Legal Aid. So they have resources. That's one thing Minnesota has is resources. Boy, we have resources for resources here. And then also the Clinics Volunteer Lawyers Network. So you got two opportunities for legal help. To reach the City of Minneapolis Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs, there's their phone number. So they got the phone number there. Immigration rights and responsibilities. You can find information from our community partners on the city website. Some that information includes what you need to know in interactions with ICE. That you have the right to remain silent and to talk to a lawyer. You have the right to refuse and sign documents until you talk to a lawyer. You have the right to not open your door until you see a warrant. Stay as calm as you can. Do not run. Learn about your rights and interactions with ICE and the Immigrant Defense Project. So more resources. Knowing your rights. You got it in different languages. Okay. How to prepare. Make a plan to prepare your family. Carry a Know Your Rights card. Keep your immigration papers on you at all times. Meet with the lawyer to learn about your immigration options. Learn how to prepare for an immigration encounter. Attend a workshop information session for community hours. Or community hours, rather. And then there's a City Federal Response webpage. City Minneapolis Response to Federal Actions. Okay, and then they got the press conference that we just watched, I guess.
I know many families are fearful tonight, but
Okay, so they have that up there on the website. December 2nd update, we're closely tracking the reports. Okay. So that's all we know right now. And they don't have the operation hasn't started. I don't even know what the operation's called. If it has a name or anything like others. We are a welcoming city. Being a welcoming city means ensuring everybody feels safe, included, and informed of their rights. Okay, so that is the latest with we have a snow emergency. There's a snow emergency here. Up there. Snow emergency parking. You got parking rules. So between you got two ice emergencies. You got ice immigration and the actual ice from the weather. No, you can't park on the certain sides of the streets in Minneapolis and shit. That's basically when I see the snow emergency or whatever. You can't park on whatever side. It's the worst. Parking in Minneapolis during winter time sucks. It can be good, but it sucks a lot of the time because it's like a plowing route or whatever. So they'll tow your vehicle if you're on the wrong side of the road in the wintertime. What else? I think this isn't live anymore. What else? What else got put out while we were doing that? Anything else important? We were reaching a newly unexplored levels of psychophancy. Sir, you made it through hurricane season without a hurricane. You kept the hurricanes away? No way.
Sir, you made it through hurricane season without a hurricane. Yeah. And so FEMA, you kept the hurricanes away. So we appreciate that. And FEMA is deploying resources and dollars 150% faster than ever before.
Donald Trump was airbending the hurricanes for us. He was on the rooftops of Mar-a-Lago sitting there going, ah, and like keeping all the hurricanes away. So thank you, Trump. Thanks, Trump. Trump did it. The biggest reason why the Russians won't make peace now is because of the same things we've been saying forever. So, every time I see some new analysis about why Russia isn't accepting any peace deal, it's the exact same thing. I feel like I'm just reading a broken record at this point. All right, I don't think I have much else. I have a video I wanted to watch, but we can probably watch it tomorrow. It's like a half hour. Fog of war. The strike was ordered from a room at Fort Bragg. So you didn't see any survivors after the first strike? Hegseth, I did not see any survivors. The thing was on fire. This is called the fog of war. I don't even want to play that. I didn't want to play that video. It's just disappointing. Here's Trump today, though. This was Trump. This is the administration today, basically.
I can say, sir, that we are moving to return education to the states and to bring the level of education back up, making sure our students can read, are reintroducing the science of reading in schools. And going into next year, I can say, sir, that we are moving to...
So sleepy. So sleepy. Look at him. Just knocked out. Just taking a nap. Just sleeping. In the middle of the... Don't even care. Alright. That's enough. Tomorrow I got a video that I want to watch about this guy. Actually, I was watching it before the stream, and I'm like, I should watch this on stream, but I watched a lot of it. But, I mean, we'll finish it. But it's a video of this dude who comes out of the right-wing pipeline. I feel like those types of videos will help. I got to post one eventually, too. I'll post a video about my coming out of the right wing and how I saved myself from the pit of misery of being right wing, because it sucks. It really does. Like, it's not fun. It's not a fun existence. You got to uphold a bunch of lies and a bunch of shit you don't even care about, but you got to do it because all your friends and family are that way, and like you got to be fake, and it sucks. So I'll do a video about it someday. Maybe it'll help going into the 2028 election or something. I don't know. But all right, y'all. I'm going to be live on my gaming channel. I don't know what I'm going to stream yet. I settled for a game yesterday, and it was so boring, and I was just like falling asleep until we played body cam and had fun. That was fun, but I'm in the mood for I'm trying to talk myself out of playing Tarkov because I want to play like a hardcore extraction shooter, but obviously Escape from Tarkov is funded by the Russian government. But it sucks because it's like the most popular one, and all the popular streamers are streaming it. No one's in their shit telling them. But I got this stupid thing called Principle. Right, I got principles and shit that kick in, so I can't play that really because it'd be supporting the Russian government. So I'm hoping that this new one that's coming out that I can finally scratch my extraction shooter itch, because Arc Raiders is great, but it's just not the same. I'm just being honest, it's just not the same as like Tarkov or the first person extraction shooters. But there is one coming that could be good. That looks like it's combining a little bit of Stalker. Of course, I can't look at my wish list now. Nice, thank you. Okay, well, I guess I can't look at it to show you. Maybe I can find it here. PUBG. Wow, is Steam just broken today? Nice. Servers are down. There you go. This PUBG black budget game that's coming out. It's an extraction shooter, but it has anomalies in it. It looks like Stalker. So PUBG with Stalker vibes. And I think that'll be the one I do. Because I mean, Arc Raiders is great. It's fun to play with friends, but it's like missing a lot that I like about extraction shooters. Like the customization, the amount of gear you get. Like in Arc Raiders, you go in and you loot items that you need, but you don't get like gear. Like you don't have to, like, everything in these type of shooters matters. Like your helmet, your vest, your backpack, the weapon, the attachments you have, the amount of ammo you have, and like Arc Raiders has like a fraction of that, but like it's more accessible, and it's so the enemies are super fun, and it's a fun game. I'm not shitting on it, but it's missing like this. It's missing that, and like that's what Tarkov can give, but unfortunately the developers are connected to the Kremlin, so that's why that one is not played. So I'm hoping this one we got a beta coming out next week, so I'll be playing that on my gaming channel next week. But until then, I gotta figure out a game that's gonna scratch this itch I have to play Extraction that actually means something. And Arena Breakout is just boring. It's just a sleepy game. I tried it yesterday. I was just bored, and then it's not fun. It's just not fun. So I'm hoping that this game will be fun. I like the Stalker aesthetic to it with the anomalies, and it could be good. So maybe next week, but I'll figure out what game I want to play. I want to play one. I want to play something, but I don't know what I'm going to play yet. But I'll figure that out, and we'll be live at like 7 o'clock on the gaming channel. So I'll give you guys like a couple hours, go eat and do what you got to do, and then I'll be live on Mercado Gaming later this afternoon. No, I didn't finish Stalker because it needs to finish updating. There's like a fourth of the game left, but I'm going to restart it when the updates are ready. So maybe by next year, which is right around the corner, but like maybe by like it's almost there, but it's not there yet in terms of the updates to the game and like what the developers were like envisioning with Stalker 2. It's just not there yet. So when that happens, we'll finish it. But until then, come over to Mercado Gaming. Thank you guys again for watching today. Appreciate all the members, all the supporters, everybody that supported the channel. We had a Monsky member for 8 months. Appreciate that. Brandy Bit with a 5 said Putin threatened Europe. He already is threatening Europe with his invasion of Ukraine. Desert Grizzly became a member. DMC Walk sent 5. And then Yahweh became a member. Oh, you've been a member for 32 months. I appreciate that. I appreciate everybody for subscribing and supporting on Twitch. Thank you to everybody for supporting on Facebook. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. But come to my gaming channel because we'll be there later today. Have a good night. See you on the next one. Peace.